Perfect. Look at that. Good afternoon, early evening. Michael Schumacher here with Parker Orr. Eve Holly will be joining us here in a bit. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. And we are bringing you the final quarter of the JV matchup between the boys. And Vermillion leads 36-34 with Dell Rapids moving the ball around the top of the key there. That shot rebounded by Tyson Hovden. Vermillion moving this way. They have us in a corner, so not our favorite angle, but it's an angle that works nonetheless. So Grant Rohrig. Gets down low. They're going to call an offensive foul. Let's see who they call that on. That's going to be on. Couldn't believe if it's on Bottleson or Orr, but one of the two. So here's Caden Smith for Dell Rapids, bringing it across. Gets it over to Jamison Anderson, maybe, or Hudson Wolf. There we go, tied up now at 36 with 4:38 to go here in the final quarter of this JV matchup. Again, we'll be bringing you the Tanager Quarriers doubleheader coming up after this here on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Or just off the block, gets over to Bottleson. Back around to Hovden. Three-point attempt there for Cale Cleveland. No, Daxton Christensen. No good, but Hovden with the rebound and the putback makes it 38-36. Again, 4 minutes remaining in this JV matchup. We are at Dell Rapids High School, up in the corner here. Good defense by Vermillion. It is in the corner. Deep three, no good. Rebound, Henry Orr. He gets that off to Grant Rohrig. And also tonight over on Yankton Streaming, you have the Yankton Gazelles in Huron. Zach Spear on that call. As Tyson Hovden drives in, he's going to be fouled on the drive, and the shot will be counted. That makes it 40-36. As Hovden will go for the old-fashioned three-point play. Now, Parker, you know, we call it an old-fashioned three-point play, but nobody ever calls it a new-fashioned three-point play. They just call it a three-pointer. Don't you think if we say one, we should say the other?
I mean, the thing is, when we say old-fashioned, we mean before the 1980s in high school, 1970s in pro. An old-fashioned three would be pre-70s. So I don't know if we would call it new-fashioned.
But if something is old-fashioned, there has to be a new-fashioned. There's a new
current.
Coke and a Coke Classic.
There's old
so
and
in fact, I want to call it the classic three-point play.
The three-point classic.
41-36 with 3.5 minutes to go here. Vermillion's JV looking good. As that straightened tennis gets the ball out. Nice job by Vermillion, hitting the floor. Daxton Christensen securing possession, getting it over to Grant Rohrig, who gets it down to Hovden. Little pull-up jumper, and that is nothing but net for Tyson Hovden. Tyson's going to be a great player for this team next year.
Yeah, he has everything you need in a guard. Great defense, great jump shot. He'll be a valuable piece coming forward.
Nice backdoor cut, and that is a successful play. And that will be, I don't know if that, I think that must be Knox Cooney. Knox Cooney, he looks 5'6", doesn't he?
Hard to tell from this far away.
Yeah, but he looks shorter than other people. So I'm saying 5'6", Knox Cooney. Plus, it doesn't look like a current varsity number 5, and otherwise varsity number 5 is Stratton Tennis.
And it looks like they also have Tace Anderson wearing 5 on their JV as well, right? Oh, no, that's on their C team. Excuse me.
So with 2:35 to go, Vermillion leads by 4. Nice job by Bottleson to recover that. Gets that into the hands of Lucas Solomon, and the bucket is good, making it 45-39. As we'll take a quick timeout. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. on Main Street in Vermillion. This is Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads in this JV matchup 45-39.
It's funny how life is made up of moments, quiet ones, big ones, and ones you never forget. A wish, a milestone, a moment you didn't know would mean so much. Because life is made in the moments we share. Voyage Federal Credit Union. For every memory made, for every moment ahead.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads this JV matchup 45-39. Tyson Hovden has 18 points, 9 points for Grant Rohrig, 3 for Christensen, 3 for Solomon, and 2 for Solomon, 3 for Bottleson. So Dell Rapids with 2:21 to go, trailing by 6, brings the ball across midcourt. And Parker and I were having a basketball discussion on the way up, and he claims that Chauncey Billups is the greatest player of his generation, which I disagreed with. I thought, wow, nice steal there by Grant Rohrig. Up and in, making it 47-39. Or was that not what your claim was, Parker? And there's a nice little bucket by Hudson Wolf. Makes it 47-41, a minute 40 to go. Hovden brings the ball across. Ooh, open lane for Hovden, up and lays it in. It hits every part of the rim before dropping, but gives Vermillion an 8-point lead with a minute 30 to go. And a rebound there for Solomon. So Christensen gets the ball off to Hovden. Minute 17 to go. So Vermillion's going to probably milk this clock as much as they can. Or not. They hit a cutting Grant Rohrig, who goes up with it, maybe a little out of control. But that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by by Dell Rapids. So it's a minute 3 to go. Vermillion JV leads 49-41. Nope, that's overruled. And that's what I wondered. So Dell Rapids will inbound. So Coach Groover's offering instruction as Dell Rapids gets the ball in. That's going to be a three-point attempt from the top of the key. No good. And Hovden will just let it go out of bounds. So again, 55.6 seconds to go here in this JV matchup. It's a 3-possession game, as Hovden is going to be fouled there.
Yeah, Dell Rapids not too close to the bonus. They might go to foul anyways.
And the third member of our crew is here. She's texting me, but she was concerned because she said, "Can you text me the address? I think they sent me to Google sent me to the middle school." And I said, "Yes, they are attached." So I think she's a little panicky because she's had a couple of times where she went to the wrong place. But now she's in the right place. So down to Bottleson. And again, 50 seconds to go. And Daxton Christensen's going to be fouled. And that will be the 5th foul. So Christensen will go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws. With 47.5 seconds to go. And if you're watching on the stream, you can see the Vermillion Tanager girls team in the corner there as the first free throw bounces off. Looks like they'll be in their red uniforms with white letters and black trim on the shorts. Second free throw is up and good for Christensen. Makes it 50-43, back to a 3-possession game. Dell Rapids brings the ball up. Nice job by Hovden getting a hand on it there. Long 3-point attempt. No good. And rebound out of bounds off of Dell Rapids. And again, this should be a good matchup tonight as the Dell Rapids girls are 8-5. Their 5 losses are to Millbank, to Lennox, to McCook Central Montrose, Sioux Falls Christian, and West Central. Very similar losses as Vermillion with West Central, Sioux Falls Christian, and Lennox. They defeated EPJ by 14, which is a little more than Vermillion was able to. They did defeat Flandreau 49-46, and that is Vermillion's opponent on Saturday up at Dakota State. And there's Eve. She's our camera person tonight, so she was in the right location. I think she was a little panicky that she wasn't, but nope, she was good. As Grant Rohrig is at the line now to shoot 2. 50-41 here in this JV matchup with 30.6 seconds to go. First free throw just off the back iron. And again, Dell Rapids set up in such a way we can't be center court, so we're in the corner here, but it's a pretty good angle. We'll be able to, that's why we're glad Eve's here just to strictly run camera, because it involves movement as well as zooming, and he misses both. So here's the rebound to Caden Smith. Long 3-point attempt, no good. Smith with the rebound and the putback makes it 50-43. And that's going to be a timeout taken by Dell Rapids. We'll take a timeout as well, brought to you by Murph's Appliance. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 50-43 with 17 seconds to go in this JV matchup. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG.
Welcome back to Dell Rapids High School. Michael Schumacher with Eve Holly and Parker Orr. 17.8 seconds to go in this JV matchup. Vermillion up 50-43. As Christensen gets it into Rohrig. Rohrig, not fouled, gets over to Christensen. 12 seconds to go. They get it across midcourt as they're going to call a double dribble. And I know you got to call it, but also at this point, it's a 3-possession game with 8.6 seconds to go. Just let it go. But that's okay. That's why I'm not a ref. That's why I'm just up here cat-calling them. As they do get the ball in, Dell Rapids thought about the long 3. Cross-court pass, long 3-point attempt, and no good. Rebound, Tyson Hovden. So, JV matchup closes with Vermillion boys winning 50-43. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll start with our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show. We did not get a chance to talk to Coach Nicole Penkonen, or as I told Parker, every time I say her name, I think of the German cake Pannekuchen. But we did not get a chance to talk to her. But we do have a conversation with Coach John Brooks, so that'll be part of our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show after these messages. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion treats you like family. They believe a healthy smile starts with compassionate care. From toddlers to grandparents, their gentle team is here for your whole family. Whether it's a routine checkup or a full smile makeover, they'll keep you comfortable and confident. Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion makes your smile shine. Visit Knutson Family Dentistry online or call today, 605-624-6291.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too for future employment. No experience necessary. We will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show as we get ready to bring you the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dell Rapids Quarriers here in some high school basketball action. And on the line we have Coach John Brooks of the Vermillion Lady Tanagers. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks, Michael.
Well, thank you. And, we're in the heat of basketball season, and we're in the second half now, so everything is important. And this kicks off a really big stretch for you guys. Kind of talk about the season to this point before we get into this matchup with Dell Rapids.
We've kind of talked lately. We're at that point of the season, like you said, where kind of got your stuff in for the year, and you just got to keep trying to improve on everything in every aspect, really, and just try to get comfortable as we can with the things that we're doing leading down the stretch, and just kind of fine-tune it every single day. So we're excited. Here we are, on Thursday, and we're going to play 5 games here in the next 9 games, and by next Saturday, we're going to be down to 3 regular season games already. So it's going quick. It's going to go quick, but, we have a big 2 weeks ahead of us.
Well, you really do, and, some big games, and you're coming off a nice win, just to get that nice win under your belt over Western Christian. But it was a game that, they hung around. And how did you feel coming out of that in Irene at the Blizzard Buster Classic?
We're giving up a lot of size. Western Christian's very athletic, so we wanted to make it a full court game. And I thought our girls did a really good job with our full court press and getting to the hoop, getting some layups. That was really good to see, and we have some balanced scoring, and that's something that we've kind of been after all season. And we finally feel like we're getting to the point where these kids that, with their first year of varsity experience, are getting there, and they're getting more and more comfortable, which is great. And got a really nice game out of Callie Schultz inside, which was nice to see. So, kind of back to what we said at the beginning of the interview is we're just really just trying to fine tune and keep kids comfortable. And if we feel like we can do that, we've been playing well lately.
Well, and you have, and you guys have faced some tough competition too. Lennox is part of that. Sioux Falls Christian, a big one. Unfortunately, they're both also in your region, and so now is kind of that point where you're trying to maybe position yourself in the region, and Region 4A is always tough with Lennox and Sioux Falls Christian. Then Dakota Valley, we saw them obviously without some players from last year, but still always tough. And then Canton, you guys are right there neck and neck with them. But you're entering maybe a portion of the season where it feels like things that, if you guys play to what you can, that they're winnable, starting with Dell Rapids. But they're always a tough one in Dell Rapids. What do they bring to the table that presents some challenges for you guys?
It starts with they've been young the last couple of years, and now they're getting older and more experienced, and they have kind of what you look for when you see a good team. They have a really good point guard in Thorson. She's only a sophomore, been starting since her 8th grade year. She's grown. She's more physical. She's a really, really good player. She's had a really nice season for them. So starts with her. We got to get her stopped, and then they got Schultz inside, the other sophomore, big lefty. Shoots the three, puts it on the floor, really good post moves inside. She can do everything. So they got the point guard, they got the post player, and then they fill in the gaps around there. So they have a big two that we're going to be giving a lot of attention to and a lot of focus, and we need to make sure that we're taking care of those two.
Well, and as you mentioned earlier, this is starting a stretch where you guys don't get much rest for the wicked. There aren't going to be these breaks where you get more than maybe a practice or two in before the next game. As a coach, how do you handle that? Because there's also that rest and recovery element.
We got 3 good practices here. We didn't have to play on Tuesday, so we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of practice, and we took Monday pretty light, and then we kind of ramped it back up on Tuesday and Wednesday to get ready for our games here this week. And then, again, next week, like you said, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we kind of hit that last stretch of practice here, and now it's just get on the floor and play. But, we've had enough practice time. Everybody in the State's had enough practice time. Everybody wants to play games. The girls want to play games at this point in the season. So it's just kind of roll into the new scouting report each day, figure out who you're playing, figure out what you want to do, and get out there and go compete.
All right. Well, Coach, I'll get out of your hair. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys up in Dell Rapids. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, and we'll talk to you down the line.
All right. You bet. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. Yep. Bye.
That was Coach John Brooks of the Vermillion Lady Tanagers as they get ready to do battle with the Dell Rapids Lady Quarriers. Again, Vermillion coming off that win over Western Christian. A nice way to kind of rebound after that loss to Sioux Falls Christian. That was a little bit decisive, and so you love to see that. But this team hitting a stretch here with Dell Rapids, Flandreau, Beersford, kind of those mid Class A teams that you need to probably get some wins over, wins that would give you some good seed points and help position you in Region 4A. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be back with the tip-off right after this. This is the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show, and this is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too for future employment. No experience necessary. We will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you pics. You can see what I mean.
Oh, my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team. Fixing pickles since 1984.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you got to call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside, not Zach Spear, he's just messaged me. I'm alongside Parker Orr and Eve Holly. It'd be interesting for Zach to be here because he's also in Huron. So, yeah, that'd be quite the feat. Zach Spear and Gage Ravelette are in Huron for the Yankton Gazelles and the Huron Tigers from historic Huron Arena. I love Huron Arena for the history. It is not a great place to broadcast from, but it's a fun space to be. Whereas we are in Dell Rapids for the Dell Rapids Quarriers and Vermillion Tanagers doubleheader brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Now, both of these teams very similar. So this really, in this girls matchup, should be pretty close, I would think. Both teams have similar losses. They also have similar victories. Vermillion led, of course, by Taylor Roovers. Taylor Roovers averaging 26.9 points per game. She's shooting 32% from the three-point line, 75% from the free throw line. The second leading scorer on the team for the Tanagers is Lexi Hansen, averaging 7.8 points per game. Then you have Shay Hinseth at 5.5 points, Tessa Nelson at 3.3, 2.5 points per game for Callie Schultz, 2.4 points per game for Izzy Richardson, and 1.5 points per game for Marasia Warren. So then if you look at rebounding, well, Taylor Roovers also leads the team in rebounding, averaging 6.4 rebounds per game. You have Lexi Hansen averaging over 5 rebounds per game, but it's a balanced rebounding effort. Shay Hinseth averages 4, Izzy Richardson 3.5, Tessa Nelson averaging 3, Callie Schultz averaging almost 4 rebounds per game, and Marasia Warren 2.5. And then assists. Taylor Roovers again leads the team, averaging 5 assists per game. Lexi Hansen averages 1. Izzy Richardson averages a little over 1. Shay Hinseth just under 1. And then when you start looking at steals and defense, again, Taylor Roovers, I'm sensing a theme here, leads the team averaging 5.5 steals per game. Then Izzy Richardson averages 2 steals per game, 1.5 for Lexi Hansen and 1 for Shay Hinseth. And Lexi Hansen actually leads the team in blocks with 1.5 per game. So obviously, Parker, as Taylor Roovers goes, so goes this team. And we've seen that. Now, they have been able to survive some games where she has struggled. But in other games where she's been struggled or kind of clamped down, the other players haven't always been able to step up. And that's part of this being a young team. A lot of sophomores. The starting lineup is Callie Schultz, a junior, and 4 sophomores. And then you have Marasia Warren, a senior, who's going to be going to Minnesota Crookston to play soccer. And then Tessa Nelson, an 8th grader. So it's a very young team, and that's part of why you don't see them always stepping up. They're still learning to play with each other and play at a varsity level. But what do you expect to see from this Tanager team tonight?
Well, I expect we've seen throughout the season they've gotten more comfortable spreading the ball, making sure everyone gets a good open shot. They've kind of lowered their amount of turnovers that they've committed on offense as well. And defensively, it's been a pretty solid unit, given they don't necessarily have a size advantage against anyone. And like you said, they don't have that experience. But they've played a good team defense. So we'll have to see how Dell Rapids can test them, because we know they have a pretty firepower offense out here. They're also a quality team in this division, and both kind of fighting for some of that playoff positioning. So we'll have to see how Dell Rapids can test out this Vermillion defense and see if Vermillion can face the pressure.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick 1-minute timeout. We'll be back with our national anthem and our Central Farmers Cooperative starting lineups. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
To be honest, it's the people that I work with. I love what I do. You got to love what you do to come every day. But the people I work with may come in 10 times easier. You want to be a part of a team that cares for you and that actually put in the time to teach you and show you the things to do in the proper way. You're just full of people who care.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. We're getting ready for the starting lineups and the national anthem with Parker Orr and Eve Holly. I'm Michael Schumacher. We should be in for a great matchup between these Tanagers and Quarriers, especially in this girls' matchup. All right. And so, as you can see, we have the flag on the screen. Again, we want to thank the veterans in my life. My daughter, Leela, who is serving the National Guard in North Carolina. My dad, Gary Schumacher, who served in the Vietnam War era. And my Uncle Leroy, who served in the Korean War era. Late Uncle George Dyson, and my late Uncle Dick Harvey, who served in the Air Force and Navy, respectively. That was the Dell Rapids High School Band. As we get ready for the starting lineups, brought to you by Central Farmers Cooperative. Central Farmers Cooperative leading the ag community in the southeast South Dakota region for decades. All right, starting for Vermillion will be Izzy Richardson, number 2, a 5'5", sophomore guard. At another guard, 5'10", sophomore guard, number 10, Lexi Hansen. Then 5'5", sophomore guard, number 11, Taylor Roovers. Then at forward, 5'10", sophomore, number 22, Shaylin Hinseth. And then finally at center, 6'1", junior, number 44, Callie Schultz. So again, Izzy Richardson, Lexi Hansen, Taylor Roovers, Shaylin Hinseth, and Callie Schultz. As they announce the junior Quarriers, we get started with the starting lineups for Dell Rapids. Starting at guard, 5'8", sophomore, number 5, Rory Thorson. Also starting at guard, a 5'7", sophomore, number 11, Claire Whitty. Number 22, a 5'8", senior forward, Taylor Schmidt. Number 32, a 5'11", sophomore forward, Jersey Schultz. And then number 34, a 5'10", senior center, Aylin Schoenhard. So three sophomores and 2 seniors on the starting lineup for this Quarriers team. Maybe just enough experience difference between Schoenhard and Schoenhard and Schmidt. We'll see if that's enough of an experience difference to make the difference tonight. As, again, Vermillion starts 4 sophomores and a junior, 1 senior in their rotation with Marasia Warren, and then an 8th grader in Tessa Nelson. As they have their hype video going. Hype videos have become a thing in high school basketball. When I was in school, our hype was me doing the announcing and calling them like professional wrestlers. 5'9", from places unknown, Merlin LaCroix, stuff like that. No, and people found it hilarious. Parker agrees.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good time.
All right, so the Central Farmers Cooperative about to be introduced for Dell Rapids. Again, number 5, sophomore guard, 5'8", Rory Thorson. So Kennedy Bisson and Lila Hansen are junior Quarriers tonight.
And now the starting lineup for the Dell Rapids Lady Quarriers. At one guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 5, Rory Thorson.
So there's Rory Thorson. We'll make sure I'm pronouncing these names correctly. Claire Whitty. So Taylor Schmidt, one of the 2 seniors starting for this team. And Elin Schoenhardt. So that was the one I had the biggest question about, Elin or Ellen. So we're getting ready for tip-off. Jumping for Vermillion will be Shaylin Hinseth. Hinseth is just a great athlete, 5'10", sophomore forward. And again, Vermillion in their red uniforms with white numbers and letters and black trim. Dell Rapids in their white uniforms with orange letters and numbers with black trim. Jumping for Dell Rapids will be number 32, sophomore Jersey Schultz. And Dell Rapids wins the tip. They're moving left to right on your screen. Here's the ball in the hands of Rory Thorson. They get it down to Schultz. Schultz guarded by Lexi Hansen. Little floater up there, no good. Rebound into the hands of Shaylin Hinseth. Hinseth gets it over to Roovers. Roovers loses control, has it knocked away by Dell Rapids. Kicks it out to Hinseth. Move it around to the left corner to Izzy Richardson. Over to Taylor. Kind of a box and one. Long three-pointer for Izzy Richardson. And that's going to be a key. If somebody else gets going for this Tanager team, it will be huge if they cannot focus on Taylor Roovers. So 3-0, Vermillion leads 47 seconds into this matchup. Thorson, guarded by Richardson. Goes up with the right hand, cannot get it to fall. Gets her own rebound up, and she will be fouled by Izzy, I believe. Yep, Izzy Richardson with her first personal, first team foul. And that first free throw is short by Thorson. So again, that is the first team foul on the night for Dell Rapids. Thorson's second free throw is good. So 3-1 now. Vermillion leads with 7:01 to go. As here's Roovers at the top of the key, drives in, kicks it out to Lexi, over to Richardson for three, just off the mark, and that will be out of bounds. Nobody else touched it, so with 6:41 to go, that will come back to Dell Rapids. As Coach Brooks is giving some instructions to Callie Schultz. So Parker, are you seeing anything early on here that that you've noticed as a tendency?
Pretty strong perimeter defense so far from Vermillion. Not too much on the offensive end so far. Shot a little bit short there.
So Schoenhardt gets a rebound off the miss and the putback. Ties it up at 3 with 6:14 to go. Long three-point attempt for Taylor. Cannot get it to go in, but Callie Schultz gets the rebound. Nice job by Callie. Taylor into the paint, up with the shot and the foul. So she's going for the classic three-point play, the three-pointer classic.
Three-point classic.
Yeah.
Just like Coca-Cola.
And Taylor hits that free throw, so she has 3 points on the night, makes it 6-3 Vermillion with 2 minutes into this game. As Taylor Schmidt gets it across to Jersey Schultz. Long two-pointer for Taylor Schmidt. Makes it 6-5 now. Taylor kicks it out to Lexi Hansen for three from the corner, and that is good. Lexi Hansen hits a three. Now, 3 starters, each with 3 points for this Tanager team. 9-5, Vermillion with the lead. So they get it up top to Schoenhard. As Izzy tries to get the steal. Thorson with the short pull-up jumper. Makes it 9-7. Both of these teams shooting pretty well. Taylor with the long three, though.
Speak of, right there, another jump shot.
So with new formula three-pointer, that's the thing we're trying. Makes it 12-7 on the Masava scoreboard. Again, Tanager basketball is brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. They get it down low to Schoenhard. Nice job by Callie Schultz with the block. Rebound there by Shaylin Hinseth. Callie Schultz is really starting to come into her own. I know you've seen this Tanager team. Do you see a difference in her attitude out there, just in her assertiveness?
Yeah, she's crashing the glass a lot better right now, offensively and defensively, and it's really helping Vermillion. And that block right there, just hands up disciplined defense. She's really picking up the subtle parts of defense.
And Taylor's going to draw another foul in the paint, so she'll go to the line to shoot 2. They didn't put a number up there. Oh, that's the second foul on Claire Whitty. So checking in now for the Quarriers, it will be Brielle Holmo. Checking in for Claire Whitty. Checking in for Vermillion will be Tessa Nelson and Marasia Warren for Callie Schultz and Shaylin Hinseth. Tessa Nelson, the 8th grader, really, really good player as Taylor hits both of those. It's now a 14-7 lead for the Tanagers. Nice steal there by Lexi Hansen. Gets it out to Tessa Nelson. Long jumper from the corner. No good. And that will be another jump ball. That'll go to Dell Rapids. So Lexi Hansen got herself a steal. So everyone's contributing so far tonight.
Yeah, Vermillion breaking out the press. This is a great time for them to showcase a different defensive look than they normally throw out there.
As Thorson gets it down to Jersey Schultz, who cannot control the pass, out of bounds. And that will go back over to the Tanagers.
We got to see if they keep fouling Roovers, because if they let her score, she pulls up from deep.
And that's saved by Thorson, and it's into the hands, of Holmo, into Thorson, and that's an easy 2 for, I was going to say Lennox because they're orange, but Dell Rapids. Roovers drives in, and she's going to be fouled on the floor. I think that's going to be by Thorson, maybe by Hilmo. It's Hilmo. So Brielle Hilmo with her first personal. Hansen on the paint, on the block, up at the left. Oh, they're going to call a travel. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I wasn't watching the feet closely enough. I thought it looked like a good move, but I'll admit I wasn't watching her feet that closely.
Yeah, it would have to be depending on when she picked up the dribble, if she took a step or not.
So here's Hilmo with the ball. Down low to Thorson, can't get it to fall. Rebound there for Tessa Nelson. Lexi thought about the long 2, and that's going to be blocked by Jersey Schultz. Out of bounds. That'll stay with Vermillion, though. But 23 seconds on the shot clock. 14-9, Vermillion leads. Taylor in the paint, and she's going to be fouled again.
Yeah, Taylor Roovers herself almost has the Quarriers in the bonus. They do not know what to do on defense against Taylor right now.
And now that's Hilmo's second. Hilmo came in to replace Claire Whitty, who had 2. So Taylor at the line. First free throw up and good. And that's going to be a timeout by Penconen. We'll take a timeout as well. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. On the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 15-9. This is Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners. When you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout on the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 15-9. Roover's second free throw is up and good. She now has 10 points on the night. With 3:10 to go, Vermillion leads 16-9. Full court press, and that's going to be a steal for Taylor. Over to Hansen. Hansen up and in. It's now 18-9. Vermillion's doubled up Dell Rapids. As Thorson has that deflected. Rebound there for Schoenhard. And that's going to be a rebound for Tessa Nelson. Nope, jump ball. Jump ball. But that will go to Vermillion. So nice job by Tessa Nelson to create that jump ball situation.
Yeah, third jump ball Vermillion's forced this game. That really shows that they are playing with some tenacity out there, and they're fighting for the basketball.
Down low to Hansen. Hansen is blocked. Probably should have gone up, but maybe a little bit stronger, you'd like to see, and Coach Brooks will talk about that to her. As here is Maya Destiger is in there as well now. Rebound Taylor Roovers. Taylor with the long three-point attempt, no good. Rebound into the hands of Nelson. That's going to be blocked of Richardson's shot attempt. As the height of Schoenhard and Schultz is affecting the Tanager inside game. And here's Schoenhard on the outside. Dell Rapids has yet to take a three-pointer. Schoenhard up, and she's going to be fouled by Tessa Nelson. That'll be Nelson's first foul. As Schoenhard gets her second basket. She's at 4 points now, going for 5. As Shaylin Hinseth checks in for Lexi Hansen. And that first free throw is off the mark, but rebound to Taylor Schmidt. And another jump ball. This one will go to Dell Rapids as Lexi Hansen checks back in for Shaylin Hinseth. Thorson for a long three, drains it. Thorson has 8 of the 14 points for Dell Rapids, makes it 18-14. That essentially ended up being a 5-point possession for Dell Rapids. Richardson gets it out to Roovers. Roovers, cross court to Nelson. Nelson tries to drive the baseline, picks up her dribble, kind of caught down there, but gets it out to Roovers. Taylor from the corner, cannot get it to fall. Schoenhard with the rebound. So Dell Rapids taking it back and forth. Here's the ball in the hands of Destiger. Long three-pointer, and that's a three-pointer for Thorson. And suddenly it's a one-point game, 18-17 with 46 seconds to go here in quarter number one. Hanson out to Nelson. Nelson for three. Can't get it to fall. And another jump ball. I've never seen so many jump balls called so quickly.
Yeah, contested possession, immediate whistle tonight.
So it stays with Vermillion. They get it down low to Hanson. Wow, no foul called as Hanson's kind of being jostled on the shot. So 30 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. 18-17, but there's a steal for Roovers. Up with the right hand and in. So Taylor creating, making it 20-17 now. 17 seconds to go. Another steal for Taylor. Six seconds to go. Taylor kicks it over to Hanson. Hanson over to Richardson. 1 second to go, and they don't even get a shot off. And Coach Brooks is just frustrated that they didn't even get a shot off. But as the first quarter ends, it's Vermillion 20, Dell Rapids 17 on the Mesaba scoreboard. We'll be back with more. This is Tanager Basketball on Fox Sports Radio and Vermillion Tanagers YouTube. Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women. Names like Ariat and Carhartt for men. Boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See Outdoor Store Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Parker Orr and Eve Holly. As we go into quarter number two, it's 20-17 in favor of the Tanagers. First shot by Dell Rapids, a little off the mark, but they get their own rebound. Thorson out to Jersey Schultz. That three-point attempt, no good. Rebound, Callie Schultz. So Roovers gets the ball across midcourt. It's Hinseth, Roovers, Hanson, Schultz, and Tessa Nelson out there. As Richardson starts on the bench, as there's a steal by Thorson, up and good for Rory Thorson. 20-19, Vermillion leads, 7:19 to go here in the first half. Taylor directing traffic. Gets it down low to Callie Schultz, up and in for Schultz. Assist there for Taylor Roovers. Nice pass down low. Nice job by Callie to finish. And that, I thought they'd call a jump ball. There's a short little jumper. Up and in for Josie Price. Keeps it a 1-point game.
Vermillion's a little thrown off by this zone here because Taylor always has someone shading, but they found a good pass right there.
Hanson for three, no good. Rebound, Shaylin Hinseth, though. A nice rebound to rip that down, and that pass will be kicked away by Jersey Schultz. So Hinseth with her third rebound of the night. That was an aggressive rebound, too. So Taylor Roovers to inbound now. 32 seconds on the shot clock. As they get it down low to Hanson. Hanson up with the left hand, can't finish. Rebound there by Jersey Schultz. Destiger for three, no good. Rebound, Shaylin Hinseth. Oh, that pass by Nelson is tipped by Josie Price, but then Callie Schultz tries to grab it, and it goes off her fingertips out of bounds. Del Rapids looking to take a lead here, 22-21. Oh, that was a travel. She got caught, and then she moved her pivot foot. She was caught at midcourt. I think it threw her off just a little bit.
Yeah, it took an extra step.
So that opportunity to take the lead goes away for that possession, but Vermillion needs to get a score here. So they've kind of moved it around. Tessa Nelson now at the top of the key. Taylor kind of moving in and out. And that pass from Nelson just a little soft. Thorson with another steal, and Del Rapids has their first lead. 23-22 with 5:22 to go, and that's going to be a foul on Thorson, I believe. Yep. And that's Thorson's first personal, first foul of the quarter. As Nelson comes out, Izzy Richardson comes in. I don't think Coach Brooks was happy. A couple of passes by Tessa were not with much authority, and Del Rapids was able to get their hands on them. And Taylor's pass is just a little high to Callie Schultz down low. So Elin Schoenhardt comes in. So it's Thorson, Josie Price, Elin Schoenhardt, Maya Destiger, and Jersey Schultz out there for Del Rapids. Cross-court pass to Destiger. Three-point attempt, no good. Rebound, Shaylin Hinseth. Hansen, down low, gets it down low to Schultz. Back out to Hinseth. Back out to Roovers. Down to Schultz. Callie can't get it to fall. And she does the best thing she could trying to hit it away, but it's into the hands of Maya Destiger. So Del Rapids with a 1-point lead, looking to expand it. As Schoenhardt up top. And that's nice defense by Callie, but a good job by Schoenhardt to get that up. It's a 3-point lead for Del Rapids now, with 4:12 to go halfway through this second quarter. Hinseth for three. That's going to be off the mark. Richardson saves it, though. Taylor, pull-up jumper, no good. Gets her own rebound. New fresh 35-second clock. Wow. Looks like there was some contact there, but no call. Taylor knocks that ball out of bounds, though. So checking in for Del Rapids will be Taylor Schmidt, checking out Maya Destiger. Nice job block there by Lexi Hansen. As they try to get it ahead, Taylor's a little off on some of her passes tonight. And so it's led to a couple of turnovers. So right now on the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 25-22. 4.5 minutes into this second quarter, and they've only scored 2 points. They've been outscored 8-2, but there's a steal by Izzy Richardson. Lexi on the block, gets it out to Roovers. Roovers over to Richardson. Down low to Schultz. And that is off of Schultz's hands. And this Del Rapids defense is really pitching Vermillion some fits as Callie Schultz checks out. Tessa Nelson checks in.
Yeah, this Del Rapids zone, it's kind of making it so the only shot that's open is on the wing, and Vermillion really hasn't been hitting that three, so they kind of can do whatever they would like.
Long three-point attempt for Thorson, no good. Rebound to Del Rapids, no good. They are allowing a lot of contact, so Vermillion's going to have to adjust, and be a little more physical down there, both offensively and defensively, as Jersey Schultz hits the shot. And that's Tessa Nelson's second foul. As Schultz misses the free throw, rebound to Shaylin Hinseth. Nelson, cross-court pass to Richardson. Down to Hansen in the paint. And that's going to be a travel on Lexi Hansen. Another turnover for the Tanagers. 27-22 now they trail. Now, I'm going to say this. They're allowing a lot of contact on Del Rapids' side. They are not allowing much when it's Vermillion. I mean, there's been a lot of contact down on the other side that's not getting called, that's affecting shots, that's getting called down here. First shot by Thorson is up and good.
Yeah, hopefully they can kind of find more of an equilibrium in the second half, and it's tough to establish that pace, and it's difficult on offense.
And Coach Brooks wants to take a timeout, so we'll take a timeout as well. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. Vermillion trails 29-22. 2:06 to go in quarter number 2 on the Mesaba scoreboard. This is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Parker Orr and Eve Holly. With 2:06 to go, coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout on the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 29-22. They've been outscored 12-2 this quarter, and they'll see what kind of adjustments are made as it's Lexi Hansen, Taylor Rivers, Tessa Nelson, Izzy Richardson, and Shaylin Hinseth out there. And Hansen has that knocked out of her hands. Just not securing the ball, just little things that they're not doing. As Jersey Schultz hits on that, it's now 31-22. So get it down low to Lexi, and that pass from Lexi, Shaylin didn't really have a chance to get that corralled at all. So a minute 33 to go. Vermillion trails by 9 in this first half. Schultz has that knocked away by Taylor, but it's back into her hands. That shot there by Schmidt, no good. Rebound to Taylor. Taylor's going to kick it off to Tessa Nelson. Up and in. That's what Vermillion needed. They needed just a steal and a bucket. So it's now 31-24 with a minute 8 to go. And a wide open shot for Schoenhard. Cannot hit. And that's going to be out of bounds off of Vermillion. Coach Brooks is going to send in Marasia Warren for Lexi Hansen. Coach Brooks a little upset that Lexi didn't go for that ball as it was going out of bounds because it was obviously off of a Tanager. So they do get it in on Schoenhard. Up and in. Schoenhard now has 8 points on the night. Taylor drives in. She's going to be fouled by Taylor Schmidt. That'll be Schmidt's first personal. Oh, I guess they called the foul on Thorson. Thorson's second personal. So Taylor is inbounding the ball, gets it up top to Izzy Richardson. Taylor thought about the three. Little pull-up jumper. Cannot get it to fall. And that's out of bounds off of Marasia Warren. Checking in now is checking in is Cassidy Steichel for Dell Rapids. Checking in for Rory Thorson. Thorson, the leading scorer on the game with 17. Nice steal there by Izzy Richardson. Shot clock is off. Vermillion trailing by 9, playing for the final shot of the quarter. A disappointing quarter for Vermillion. Currently, they were outscored by 16-4. 8 seconds to go. Taylor with the ball, drives in, up and good and fouled. So Taylor now has 14 points. She'll go to the line to shoot the and one, as that foul is on Jersey Schultz. That's Jersey's first personal. So Taylor looking to make it 33-27, and she does. She now has 15 points on the night. 3 seconds to go as Dell Rapids does get the ball in across midcourt, and they do not get a shot off. And so that's the way the first half will end. 27-33, Vermillion trails Dell Rapids. We'll come back after this timeout, brought to you by our sponsors. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Slumberland Furniture at 2401 Broadway in Yankton, home of Kirkland Furniture Group's bedroom groups by Laguna and dining sets by Tower and Catadel. They're also the only place to offer furniture by Flex Steel and the biggest selection of Lazy Boy in the area. The Mattress Gallery is full of the best brand name mattresses in the business, including the all-new Tempur-Pedic Active Breeze personalized climate-controlled mattress. Slumberland Furniture, dining, bedroom sets, and mattresses in Yankton.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
What's that?
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Warmer days are coming, and sooner or later your air conditioning will need to kick in as well. But what if it doesn't? Well, don't wait. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling. With 43 years in the business, we're very knowledgeable on what we do and how we serve our customers. You can rest assured that when you call day or night, someone will always pick up the call. Join our elite club today and become a priority member. Skip the line, get discounts on services, and have no overtime fees. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling for expert service from factory-trained technicians.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Todd's Electric, your full-service electrical contracting company. Todd's Electric services residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial customers. From the simplest service call to the most complex design build project, Todd's Electric has the expertise to do it right. Call Todd's Electric for all your electrical needs. Todd's Electric, helping you control all things electric. Except for lightning. Todd's Electric. Go Tanagers!
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Well, Vermillion got off to a really nice start, but Dell Rapids started working their way back in. At one point, it was 18-9. Since that point, 18-9, Vermillion has been outscored 24-9. So if you're Vermillion, I'm not quite sure what you need to do. Taylor has 15 points, but we were talking, Vermillion players, non-Roovers players are getting the ball wide open. They're not even really looking at the basket right now. So honestly, Dell Rapids can sag off them and double team Taylor, which is making her life that much more unbearable. And actually to the point where it's making it even difficult for her to be able to drive into the basket that she was doing in the first 6 or 7 minutes of the game, drawing fouls, getting buckets, getting to the free throw line. So, Parker, what do you think Vermillion needs to do in this second half?
Well, they need to not let this 2-3 zone get in their head. They'll pass it up to the high post immediately to the wing. If that wing is open, like you said, they need to look at the basket. I mean, it was too many times where Lexi Hansen, Tessa Nelson had the ball on the wing, don't even look at the basket. And it's like, we know we can hit the three-point shot. And even if you're not going to take it, act like you're going to, because if you don't become a threat, that lets the rest of the team help. If they force that look or at least fake the shot, they'll pull a defender and be able to make the next pass. And then the next thing they need to commit to the shot fake. I mean, you saw it a couple times where, maybe you've got Callie Schultz down low, Shaylin Hinseth, and they've kind of like a really soft shot fake, and they'll just kind of go through with it anyways. And then if you have too weak of a shot attempt, it's probably going to get rejected. We saw a couple blocks from the Dell Rapids. So if they really commit to their shot really after the fake and kind of take the open perimeter jumper against that 2-3 zone, I think Vermillion can really actually develop that confidence they need to win this game.
Well, and I think that's exactly right. And I think they have to adapt to the physicality that the officials are allowing. Now, that being said, I don't believe it's being called equitably. Equitably, we'll see if that improves. But they are allowing a bit of physicality on both ends that Vermillion needs to adapt to. And part of that is that pump fake and then going up strong. A real pump fake, get him in the air and then go up. Get them to bring their hands down. And so that's going to be an interesting adaptation. And Taylor, obviously she's doing her thing. But her outside shot isn't necessarily falling, so she'd like to change that as well. All right, we're going to be back. When we come back, we'll take a look around other games at the state, brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort in Yankton, Vermillion, and Sioux City with Eve Holly, Parker Orr. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM KVTK, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
Wanting a specialist without leaving town? We've got you covered. Our clinic offers specialists for the health and wellness of your family, from pediatricians to OBGYNs, plus primary care. You can find it all at Vermillion Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
If you're looking for the perfect fit, Vermillion Vision Care Associates fits like the right pair of glasses. Vision Care Associates has its roots in family eye care, and the doctors are well known for being primary eye care providers. With the ability to treat and diagnose a variety of settings, Vermillion Vision Care Associates is the right fit for you. Plus, they can fit you into a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contacts that feel just right. With continuing education, see the best doctors at Vermillion Vision Care Associates.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. With Parker Orr, I'm Michael Schumacher, and I forgot to mention Eve Holly on camera. Let's take a look around the state, brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort in Yankton, Vermillion, and Sioux City. Wagner leads Scotland Menno 32-12 with 6 minutes to go in the third. Platte Geddes leads Hanson 23-19 at half. Beersford leads Sioux Valley 24-14, 5 minutes to go in the second. Sioux Falls Christian leads Dakota Valley 9-0 with 5 minutes to go in the first. Those are all the score updates in Class A girls. In Class B, Lyman leading New Underwood big. Phillip leading Newell big. Centerville leading Viborg Hurley by 20 at the half. Burke leads Boyd County 31-27 at the half. Warner leads Waverly South Shore at the half 29-20. After 1 quarter of play, Fulton area leads Leola Frederick area. And Aberdeen Christian leads James Valley Christian. Castlewood over Iroquois Lake Preston at the half, 24-9. Other games, Strasburg, Zeeland, and Wakpala. We'll keep an eye on that. Lyman and New Underwood. Lower Brule and Little Wound, Lemon and McLaughlin. McIntosh and Timberlake. Go McIntosh, because Timberlake sucks as a community and people. And so that's just my 2 cents. And let's look at double A girls. No score updates in AA girls, and no score updates yet really in boys, except for Hamlin in Class A leads Sisseton 52-20. Those are the only score updates in boys basketball. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout when we come back. Well, you know what? They're going to start this early. We had like 40 seconds, so we're just going to stay here. All right. Vermillion will start with possession, and it's the original starting 5 of Izzy Richardson, Taylor Roovers, Shaylin Hinseth, Lexi Hansen, and Callie Schultz. For Dell Rapids, it's Rory Thorson, Claire Whitty, along with Taylor Schmidt, Jersey Schultz, and Ellen Schoenhard. And Lexi Hansen up with the left hand, and good. And that's what Vermillion's going to need to do. Go up strong, go up with authority, and take the shot. As they do get the ball into the hands of Taylor Schmidt. Taylor gets her hands on that, Taylor Roovers, but that's knocked out of bounds. So Vermillion now starting a little bit like they started the game. High pressure, working it down low. We'll see if they can keep this up. And unfortunately, not a solid switch on defense there between Lexi and Taylor, and it left Thorson kind of alone on the baseline. Taylor in recovery ended up fouling from behind to getting her second personal. So Thorson with 17 points, leading all scorers, goes to the line to shoot 2, and the first one is up and good. She now has 18 points, and if she makes this one, do you know how much that'll be? 19. I know. That's that Crofton math for you. And she now has 19 points. 35-29, 6-point lead for Dell Rapids. And again, they're still not even really considering those shots. And that allowed people to sag off and get almost knocked that out. So 15 seconds on the shot clock. Nice save by Richardson. But there's 9 seconds on the shot clock. Taylor drives in, little floater, up and leaves it short. Jersey Schultz with the rebound. Taylor might have tried forcing that down low just a little bit that first time, but they were able to recover. And that floater just a little short, unfortunately. But good thought process on her part, because the shot was open. Here's Schoenhard over to Schultz. And there's Claire Whitty with her first bucket. And I've got to give it to these bigs for Dell Rapids. They're both really good ball handlers. Both Schoenhard and Schultz can drive in from the outside. As Hinseth has the ball over to Richardson. Taylor gets it down low to Shaylin, up and good. Nice play there by the Tanagers. And Hinseth with her first bucket of the night. So Vermillion back within 6. Both teams with the bucket and both teams with 2 free throws this quarter. Nice defense there by Callie Schultz, as Shaylin Hinseth gets the rebound. But Callie did not move, and that's exactly what you need to do. As Taylor leaves that floater short, and Coach Brooks upset. There was a lot of contact there and no call. Thorson from the corner brings it back up top. Resets. Schultz has it knocked out of her hands by Lexi Hansen. Over to Schoenhard. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Thorson out by the three-point line, and she will drain it. Rory Thorson now has 22 points on the game. And this is Del Rapids' biggest lead of the night, 9 points. Schultz up and cannot get it to fall, but that's going to be a foul on Schoenhard. So Callie Schultz to shoot 2. Now, Callie, I don't know that you'll find a free throw shot that has more arc than hers, but she is successful. Now, I've jinxed her, so we'll see. Nope. See? Told you. First free throw up and good for Callie. A mistimed scream from the crowd as Callie Schultz gets both to fall. You know, you need to scream in the midst of the shot, not like 5 seconds before they shoot. That just feels like a waste of lung power.
Yeah, I got to say that for cheering on defense, which they're not doing too much.
No. So 40-33, Vermillion down by 7. Schoenhard gets it off, tries to get it off to Schultz. Schultz loses control of it. That's going to be out of bounds. That turnover, and that'll go to Vermillion. All right, chance for Vermillion to pull back in within 5, maybe 4. So Richardson on the left side gets over to Hinseth. Nelson over to Richardson. Good ball movement. Hinseth with a little floater from the paint, and that'll drop. And that's exactly what you were saying. They need to take those shots. So Hinseth with 4 points in this quarter. And I tapped you. I don't know why. That was weird. I apologize. That was odd. 3:46 to go. And they're going to call a foul on Taylor Roovers. I've seen a lot more contact not called on the other side, but I will no longer say that as Taylor now has 3 personals. Callie Schultz checks out. Tessa Nelson checks in. Nice job by Taylor to knock that ball out. Schultz gets the loose ball, goes in, and she's fouled on the shot as Schultz gets her 3rd bucket of the night. As Shaylin Hinseth gets her first personal. And Schultz goes to the line for the and 1. And she hits that. She now has 7 points on the night. It's now an 8-point lead for Del Rapids. Taylor over to Shaylin. Shaylin drives the baseline. Little pull-up jumper. Good. Shaylin Hinseth with 6 points in this quarter. And if she can come alive, that becomes another option. They can't just double-team Taylor the entire night. As that loose ball is picked up by Shaylin Hinseth. Man, we are starting to call her name a lot tonight. 3:06 to go. Vermillion trails by 6. Down low to Lexi Hansen. That pass by Lexi is knocked away by Del Rapids, but then knocked out of bounds by Lexi. And it's just their passes without a lot of authority. That's the biggest problem right now. As Thorson gets the ball across to Claire Whitty. Schultz for 3. That's going to be way off. Air ball out of bounds, and that will go back to Vermillion. So Vermillion now trailing by 6, the same deficit they trailed by coming into this quarter. With 2:45 to go, a chance to cut it down to 4, maybe even 3. What do you think they should do here?
Well, like you said, they need to keep committing to the shot and really drive into the lane. They need to make sure these passes are a little bit of more authority. Make sure you do a pass fake and spread the wealth here.
Richardson couldn't get the shot to fall, but at least she went in and took it. That was off of a Tanager defender. So out of bounds. That'll go back to Del Rapids. As a full court press here as Thorson has the ball. And they do just get it across with about 2 seconds to spare. Whitty Gets it down low to Schoenhardt, wide open and misses it, but Schultz gets the rebound and puts it back. Not quite sure where the defense was there for Vermillion. 8-point deficit now for the Tanagers. Taylor gets it out to Nelson. Nelson over to Hinseth. She'll take the three offline. That very play would have been a jump ball in the first quarter, but that'll be a foul on Izzy Richardson. That'll be her second personal. So 8-point deficit for the Tanagers with 1:44 to go. Claire Whitty getting defended. There's Jersey Schultz with the ball. Up and in. Schultz now has 11 points on the night. And it's now a 10-point deficit, the biggest lead of the night for Dell Rapids. Taylor with the little floater, no good. And Jersey Schultz with the rebound. The size of Dell Rapids, and not just the size, not just the height, but they're bigger, a little more weight to them, a little more muscle on them. And so I think they're just able to kind of overpower some of the Tanager players. Because your tall players for the Vermillion are more slight when you start looking at Hansen and Hinseth. But Hansen gets that block and rebound. And Coach Brooks wants to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take a timeout as well, brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. On the Masaba scoreboard, 1:01 to go, 47-37 Dell Rapids. We'll be back. Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
When you need top-notch appliances that last, trust the experts at Murph's Appliance. From washers and dryers to refrigerators, they have all the trusted brands to keep your home running smoothly. At Murph's, you'll find Maytag appliances built for durability and service you can count on. Whether it's a new oven or a repair, they're there for you every step of the way. Stop on down to Murph's Appliance, your local Maytag dealer in Vermillion. Maytag and Murph's, reliable just like you.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion with the ball, trailing by 10. 1 minute to go, coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout. Here's Izzy Richardson, gets it over to Roovers. Taylor out to Nelson. Nelson gets it down low to Hansen. Hansen out to Richardson. She'll take the three, just off the mark. Tessa Nelson gets the rebound. And Roovers has that blocked by Rory Thorson. And that ball is stolen away by Tessa Nelson. And Hinseth will be fouled by Schoenhardt. That'll be Schoenhardt's second personal. So Hinseth goes to the line to shoot two. She has 6 points on the night, all in this quarter. 24 seconds remaining on the clock. 10-point deficit here in quarter number 3. Hinseth's first free throw up and good. Shea now has 7 points as Marasia Warren checks in for Lexi Hansen. And Taylor can't get that to fall, or Shaylin can't get that to fall, but Tessa Nelson with the rebound and the putback makes it a new-fashioned three-point play. Thorson is pressured by Vermillion. 11 seconds to go here in the quarter. Vermillion trails by 7. Thorson, long three, no good. Rebound Taylor with 3 seconds to go. Taylor to midcourt. Long shot. Oh, cannot get it to fall. So Vermillion is outscored by 1 point in that quarter. They trail 47-40 as we enter quarter number 4. This is on the Masaba scoreboard. This is Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
It's funny how life is made up of moments. Quiet ones, big ones, and ones you never forget. A wish, a milestone, a moment you didn't know would mean so much. Because life is made in the moments we share. Voyage Federal Credit Union. For every memory made, for every moment ahead.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. With Parker Orr and Eve Holly, I'm Michael Schumacher. On the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 47-40 as we enter quarter number 4. Parker, what do you need to see?
Well, Vermillion needs to keep attacking on offense and keep committing to that. And then on defense, they need to protect the paint. Like you said, Del Rapids has really been forcing themselves when it comes to the basket.
There we go. Little defense down there in the paint causes a turnover, and Vermillion now takes over with 7:51 to go. Chance to cut this down to a 5-point deficit. So again, the same starting 5. It's Taylor, and that shot will be short. Rebound, though, Hinseth. Oh, they called a jump ball. Okay. So that stays with Vermillion. So it's Hinseth, Hansen, Schultz, Richardson, and Roovers. Hinseth from the three-point line in the corner, drains it. Shaylin Hinseth now has 10 points on the night, all in this second half. Thorson gets pressured. It's now over to Claire Whitty. Hansen gets her hand on that, gets over to Taylor. Hansen up. Nice pop and stop, and Lexi Hansen now has 9 points. And Coach Panakukun, Pankonen, wants to take a timeout as Vermillion has cut it down to a 2-point deficit on the Mesaba scoreboard. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball. Coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout, Vermillion has cut the lead to 2, 47-45. Thorson, three-point attempt there by Taylor Schmidt, and that'll be out of bounds as it hits the guide wire. So Vermillion with the chance to tie it up or take the lead, and they have not been done that since middle of the second quarter. Oh, Taylor lucky to get that pass. Hinseth, she just lost a little control of it. I think she was going to pop the 3. Lexi Hansen over to Richardson. Richardson for 3. Can't get it to fall. That'll be out of bounds off of Vermillion. So 6:40 to go for Del Rapids to inbound. Thorson picked up in the backcourt by Taylor. Whitty gets it across the timeline. As Schmidt gets it down low to Schoenhard. Thorson will take the 3, and that's a little off the line, but Schoenhard with the rebound. Nice job by Izzy Richardson to block that shot, though, and knock it out of bounds. So Del Rapids maintains possession, but now only 13 seconds on the shot clock. And if you're having trouble telling, Izzy Richardson is 5'5". Ellen Schoenhard is at least 5'10", if not 5'11". Thorson from the corner, no good. And Hinseth with a great job knocking that off of Taylor Schmidt. So good hustle play there by Shaylin Hinseth. And Vermillion again with a chance to tie it up or take the lead with 6:10 to go in quarter number 4. Richardson up top to Shaylin Hinseth. Down low to Richardson in the paint, up and cannot connect. Oh, and that's going to be a foul on Richardson, I believe. That'll be Izzy's first team of the quarter. So Vermillion to inbound, or Del Rapids to inbounds. Get into Brielle Hilmo. Here's Thorson. Gets it across the timeline to Schultz. Down low to Schmidt, up with the left hand and in. Now a 4-point lead for Del Rapids. As Tessa Nelson and Marasia Warren get set to check in. Taylor in the corner, drives in, gets it down low to Hanson. Hanson up and in. Nice play there by Taylor and a nice finish there by Lexi. And that's what this team needs to do. And that'll be a foul on Shaylin as it knocks over Brielle Hilmo. That's Hinseth's second personal. As Richardson and Schultz check out, Tessa Nelson and Marasia Warren check in. So what are you seeing in the first 3 minutes of this fourth quarter?
Well, Vermillion is really pushing it on offense, and they're really going for every opportunity they can. And Del Rapids has really been struggling on their end of the court here as Vermillion plays good help rotation, but they allow a score there.
As Schultz gets that shot to fall. Good defense, just a nice shot. Down low to Hanson, just off the block. Roovers guarded by Hilmo, drives in, and Marasia Warren can't handle the pass. So now with 4:25 to go, Vermillion trails by 4. Del Rapids looking to try to extend that back to 6 points. So here's Taylor Schmidt. Nice ball movement. No good, but Schoenhard up. And she's going to be fouled by Tessa Nelson. Just a little slow on the recovery there by Vermillion. So Schoenhard will go to the line to shoot 2. As that foul was called on Hinseth, actually. That's her third personal. Schoenhard misses the first free throw. Keeps the deficit at 4 for the Tanagers with 4:10 to go. She does get the second one to fall. And Coach Penconen wants to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. This 30-second timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails by 5. We'll be back. This is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion treats you like family. They believe a healthy smile starts with compassionate care. From toddlers to grandparents, their gentle team is here for your whole family. Whether it's a routine checkup or a full smile makeover, they'll keep you comfortable and confident. Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion makes your smile shine. Visit Knutson Family Dentistry online or call today, 605-624-6291.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That was only a 30-second timeout, but it feels like they're going longer. I might have to keep talking. I might need to filibuster.
Oh.
Yeah, see? Dropping it. 4:10 to go here in quarter number 4. Vermillion trails 52-47. They did trail by 7 coming in, so they have cut that deficit. They have had it down to 2. But Del Rapids has extended it back, and nice play there by Brielle Hilmo to get to that pass. And, boy, that's what Del Rapids has been doing a ton of, getting to a lot of these passes. I'm not sure if Vermillion's just not used to their speed, weren't expecting their speed or length or their peskiness. Long three-pointer for Taylor, no good. Rebound there by Schoenhard. Hilmo gets that pass out to Taylor Schmidt. Dell Rapids with 3.5 minutes to go, just looking to work the ball. Not looking to do anything fast unless they have an opening. Nice little jumper there by Thorson. Thorson now has 24 points on the night. The game's leading scorer. Down low to Warren. Warren gets out to Roovers. Roovers drives the baseline. And they're going to call a foul on Jersey Schultz. Second personal. First team foul of the quarter. So Taylor will inbound the ball on the baseline. As they get it up top to Shaylin Hinseth. Back out to Hansen, over to Roovers. Roovers will take the three from the corner and drain it. Taylor Roovers now with 18 points on the night. Makes it 54-50. Vermillion with that full court press, and Penn Conan wants to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. This 30-second timeout on the Masaba scoreboard with 2:45 to go. Vermillion trails by 4. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Welcome back to Tanager Basketball with 2:45 to go. Coming out of a Murph's Appliance timeout, Dell Rapids inbounds the ball to Brielle Hilmo. Taylor steals the ball, gets it over to Tessa Nelson, and Coach Brooks wants to take a timeout. Yeah, how that wasn't a travel, I'm not quite sure. But now with 2:35 to go, Vermillion takes a timeout, brought to you by Murph's Appliance. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too. For future employment, no experience necessary, we will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Blinking.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you a pic so you can see what I mean.
Oh, my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team. Fixing pickles since 1984.
Welcome back to Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That's called a brain fart as Tessa Nelson inbounds the ball to Taylor. Taylor hops over that midcourt line like, woo! Looks like me out there dancing. And that's going to be a travel on Tessa Nelson.
Yeah, she picked up her pivot foot when going for the pass. So.
Yeah, so that's just one of those turnovers that you hate to see if you're Vermillion. Coach Brooks getting in the way of Brielle Hilmo. That's okay. It's okay. Intimidate him. No, he was just kneeling down. He didn't even realize that's where they were inbounding. 2:20 to go. Hilmo with the ball. And that should have been a travel, but that's okay. And here's Thorson. Over to Schmidt. To Jersey Schultz, guarded by Lexi Hansen. 14 seconds on the shot clock, 2 minutes on the game clock. Vermillion trails by 4. And that's going to be a travel on Jersey Schultz. Not to be confused with Jersey Shore. Do you think everybody ever says Snooki?
Not anymore.
Is Snooki still a thing? I mean, does she still exist even? Is she alive?
She's probably like selling insurance or something. I don't know.
She's now an accountant for a firm. That pass down low, rolling around, taken away by Hilmo. Just some bad action there as Hilmo. Again, Hilmo getting away with steps every time. And Coach Brooks just looks irritated by it. Thorson up and in. Nice play there by Rory Thorson. So back to a 6-point deficit. Vermillion's had their opportunities, just not able to hit. And there's Hinseth not taking the three. Taylor pulls up, leaves that jumper short. And that's been the story of her night. Those little inside in the paint jumpers have been short almost every time. As Thorson drives in, up with the right hand, up with the left hand and in. Thorson's extended it to an 8-point lead with 50 seconds to go. Vermillion with the ball. They need to start scoring. They need to start scoring in a hurry. And that's going to be a foul on Thorson. That'll be her third personal. But Vermillion just some possessions that just were a little bit sloppy, not crisp, not clean. And so throughout this second half, they've gotten it down to 2 points, 4 points, and then allowed Dell Rapids to get that extended lead back as Hilmo gets the rebound off that missed three-pointer. Hansen underneath. No foul call on the shot on Hansen, but they'll call a foul on Hinseth. Hinseth with 26.5 seconds to go. It looks like Vermillion will fall. As the ball gets brought down to Rory Thorson, and Taylor steps out of bounds. So 23 seconds to go. And so we will have our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company post-game, pre-game show between games. We'll have interviews with both Coach Cadwell as well as Coach Drake. Taylor with the steal. 18 seconds to go. And they're just kind of letting them play now because Taylor was mugged on that steal. So 13 seconds to go. And that's Taylor's third personal, fourth personal. And Jersey Schultz will go to the line to shoot two. 13.5 seconds to go. And Schultz hits that first one. Now, no matter what I think of the officiating, Dell Rapids has taken advantage of it and hit their shots. There's no doubt about that. They've used the physicality to their advantage on the both offensive and defensive end. As Schultz hits both of those, it's now a 10-point deficit with 13 seconds to go. Taylor with the ball, drives through. She'll take a long three, and she's fouled by Thorson. That's Thorson's fourth. Taylor will go to the line to shoot three. Well, Taylor with a chance to get to 20 points here with 7.7 seconds left. First free throw off the mark. Second free throw off the mark. And third free throw is good. Taylor with 19 points, 7.7 seconds. That should do it. As Vermillion will fall 60-51. 5-point loss to Dell Rapids. We'll be back with our post-game, pre-game show after this brief timeout with interviews with our coaches. And we'll go over stats. Coach Brooks hopefully will come up at the half. But this is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you got to call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
To be honest, it's the people that I work with. Like, I mean, I love what I do. You gotta love what you do to come every day. But the people I work with make coming 10 times easier. You want to be a part of a team that cares for you and that actually put in the time to teach you and show you the things to do in a proper way. You know, you're just full of people who care.
You know, we have a lot of hard work to do today.
What might that be, Jonathan?
Well, we got a lot.
Welcome back to our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show as we get ready to bring you the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dell Rapids Quarriers getting ready to do battle in a rivalry matchup. And we have Coach Cadwell on from the Quarriers. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, Michael. I appreciate you having me on. Looking forward to tonight. It's always good to play really good teams and challenge ourselves, and we're looking forward to that challenge tonight.
Well, and this should be a fun one. You know, you guys obviously you didn't get off to the start you wanted to, but man, ever since that loss to Aberdeen Christian, you guys have really been putting on a bit of a show. 6-3 since then with some nice wins, close losses. Do you feel like you guys have kind of learned to play together? Because I know that was a part of it. You guys were kind of learning different things early on. Does it feel like your team's playing the way you want them to right now?
We are getting there. I would say, just like you mentioned, we didn't start off the way we wanted to. I do think we're getting better every time we play. We didn't have a lot of experience coming into the year. We had a couple guys who played quite a bit last year, and with it being my first year, they had to adjust. I had to adjust, and I think we're on our way. We always talk about we want to be playing our best at the end of the season, and I do think we are on our way there. We have a lot of guys who we try to play. A lot of guys are stepping up and doing a lot of different things. So it's a work in progress for sure. But again, looking forward to the challenge tonight against a really good team.
Well, and that challenge includes Trey Hansen, second-team All-State last year, honorable mention All-State his sophomore year, just became the all-time leading scorer in Tanager history. What does Trey bring to the table, and then the rest of this team, because it's a pretty complete team, what do they bring to the table that presents some challenges, but also maybe present some opportunities for you guys?
That's a really good question. I was hoping you would have the answers for me. Trey Hansen is a phenomenal player. I've seen him for years now. There's nowhere he won't shoot from. There's nowhere that he can't make it from. His last couple games, and the entire season, I should say, he's been really impressive. We're going to do our best. I don't know exactly what that entails here. I'm sure we'll have to try different things. We know they can score. We know it's not just Trey Hansen. We know there's plenty of good players on that team. We're going to try to slow them down as much as we can. Hopefully home court advantage is an advantage for us tonight. Every night in the DAC-12 is a challenge. We look forward to those challenges. We want to play really good teams and kind of measure ourselves and to an extent, compare ourselves to the really good teams in the conference and, eventually get to that point where the Vermillions and the Lennoxes and the Sioux Falls Christians, we want to get to that point where those teams are.
All right. And, obviously that's part of building a program, and you just have, I believe, the two seniors, so a lot of this year is also foundational building for the next couple of years. Talk about some of the players that you rely on as a coach out there.
Oh, for sure. One of our seniors, Carson Pay, has done a really nice job. He just does a lot of different things really well. He's averaging about 12 for us. He leads our team in assists. He leads our team in steals. He's one of our main ball handlers. He is going to play at Dakota Wesleyan next year for Coach Nicholson, and he just does so many different things really well for us. So we rely heavily on him. He plays a bunch of minutes for us. Another one is freshman Camden Jones, who leads us in scoring at just under 16 a game, and he's about 6'3" or 6'4", and just like Carson, he does so many different things. Leads us in scoring, leads us in rebounding. They both guard top players for the other team. And Camden is just so versatile, and I always talk to my coaches. So we're pretty spoiled because I see him out there, and he doesn't look like a freshman. He looks like he's a junior, senior already, and we're lucky to have 3 more years after this to work with him. Lincoln Anderson is one of our guards too, and he has come on as of late, and I think a lot of times he's kind of the focus for other teams. And he has put together a couple weeks now where he's just been really good. So those 3 for sure. And then we have Jackson Papel, who's one of our defensive stoppers. He just gives all-out effort at all times. Jay Sprendy is our 5th starter. Defense, rebounding, most athletic kid on the team. We have a really good group, and we look forward to tonight.
Well, I think it should be a fun matchup. Coach, I'll let you go. I know you're busy, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to being up there and calling this game.
You bet. I appreciate your coverage, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
That was Coach Cadwell of the Dell Rapids Quarriers, as the Dell Rapids Quarriers 6-7, but again, they started off 0-4, so 6-3 over their last few games. So they are on the right track, and we're excited to call this game because they've been having some great success in Vermillion. This will be a good test for the Tanagers. So again, thank you to Coach Matthew Cadwell for joining me. We'll be back with more Coach Jay Drake right after this on Vermillion Tanagers basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. This is the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show.
To be honest, it's the people that I work with. I love what I do. You gotta love what you do to come every day. But the people I work with make coming 10 times easier. You want to be a part of a team that cares for you and that actually put in the time to teach you and show you the things to do in a proper way. You're just full of people who care.
Welcome back to our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show, where we're talking some Vermillion Tanager basketball as they get ready to take on the Dell Rapids Quarriers. And we have Coach Jay Drake on the line. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing good, thanks, Michael.
Well, good. And you're getting ready to do some battle here with Dell Rapids. It's always a tough one. You guys have had a little bit of a rest period here. How does it feel to kind of get that almost like a bye week in the middle of the season?
Yeah, it's been good for us. Obviously, played last Thursday night against Sioux Falls Christian, and then due to the weather, the cold weather, they did not have school last Friday, so basically led into the weekend and kind of gave the guys 3 days off with Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now I've had 3 pretty good practices here this week, and we had a stretch there since Christmas break where it had kind of gone on a stretch for at least a couple games each week for 3 weeks there, and now to have a week to kind of reset, regroup here after 11 games, and then, obviously with Dell Rapids, it starts another tough stretch for us because starting with that game, we're going to play 5 games in 10 days now. So give us some good practices and hopefully have us ready to go for that stretch.
Well, and, like you said, coming off that Sioux Falls Christian game, it had been a heck of a stretch. And that Sioux Falls Christian matchup, they're one of the top teams in the state, and you guys were really able to hang with them. That final score, obviously, we kind of talked about, not indicative of the game itself. How do you feel about the team at this point, about pretty much halfway through the season?
Yeah, right. I think we, with 2:45 left to go in the game, it was a 5-point game, and we put ourselves in position to have a chance down the stretch. Obviously, didn't finish things down the stretch, and things kind of got away that last 2.5 minutes to have the final be 91-77. But yeah, through 11 games, we've done some really nice things, and offensively, I think we've been pretty solid this first half of the year. We've had our stretches, though. We've looked good at times defensively, but going into the season and then even here at the halfway point, it's been something we've stressed here these last 3 days in practice is our concerns going into the year, we thought we could be okay offensively, but how are we going to be defensively and rebounding the basketball? And, especially against some of the better teams, right? If you look at our 4 losses, they're all to ranked opponents, but giving up 85 to West Central and 91 to Sioux Falls Christian. We've got to be able to guard those teams better, and also with that is the rebounding aspect of that. So it's going to be a constant discussion with our group, and we've got to have constant improvement here in the second half of the season.
Well, and that second half starts against a Dell Rapids team that, they've kind of been Jekyll and Hyde this season. Started off 0-4. They've been 6-3 since then, with a nice, starting off with a convincing win over Elk Point Jefferson. Lost to a really good, honestly, a great Class B team in Castlewood, but good wins over Canton and Parker Marion, Madison, MVP. What does this team bring to the table that presents some challenges for you guys?
Yeah, they're in a nice stretch here, and some of that start, I think it's been a team that I probably followed a little bit more closely as the years gone on, as my nephew plays for their teams and starts for them. So I've always kind of just following him, and then with their program, and obviously a DAC-12 team, but. They're in their third year with a new coach, and I think that no matter what, that always takes a toll on a team, right? For the last 3 years, when you have a different coach each year, just trying to get to know the coach, number one, and figure out their philosophy, and I think that goes both ways. The coach trying to figure out tendencies and what his guys can and can't do. So they got off to a slow start, 0-4, like you said, but they're really playing good basketball right now. They've won 6 out of 9, and they are scoring a lot of points, and that's the scary part of it, especially when we talk about how we've defended at times, is, if you throw out their first game of the year where West Central got after them really, really good, the last 12 games, they're averaging right at 70 points a game. They've got a number of guys that can score it. Anytime you have, just this year alone, the Pay kid, obviously returning guard, and the Anderson kid. Anderson had 31 a week ago against Madison, but both those guys have scored in the 20s a number of times. And then the Jones kid, Camden Jones, who's a freshman and been starting all year for him, has had multiple games in the 20s. So you have 3 guys right there that can get 20-some on a given night, and then a couple other starters there that have scored in the high teens. So it makes it tough on you when they have multiple guys that can score the basketball and score it pretty effectively. And then you can just see the last, stretch of games here, 5-6 games. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. And the other thing with them is they did not play a home game until the middle of January. Their first home game was Sioux Falls Christian, kind of weird with the schedule the way it was, but they played their first 8 or 9 games either on a neutral site or on the road. We're only their third home game this year, and like I said, they've played well in their 2 previous games at home. So after a week off, it's going to be a huge game for us. Again, it's our 5th straight DAC-12 game, and we're going to have to be ready to go, and we're going to have to play well.
All right. Well, Coach, I think it's going to be a great matchup. It'll be fun to be back and watching up in Dell Rapids, and it starts the second half, and it should be a big second half to the season for you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. Really appreciate it, and best of luck against the Quarriers.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
That was Coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion Tanagers as they get set to do battle with the Dell Rapids Quarriers. The Tanagers now 7-4 on the season. Dell Rapids 6-7, looking to try to get to 500. Vermillion looking to go 8-4. This could be a nice seed points victory for Vermillion. If they were to get this, they would get 44 seed points, which would lower them, increase them just a little bit. Probably not enough to overtake Lennox yet, but Vermillion has a pretty good schedule ahead where they can get some wins, but they're winnable games. So you do love to see that. Lennox has some tough games coming up on their schedule, so especially, a Pine Ridge and a Tri-Valley and a Dakota Valley. So it should be good. The battle for maybe second place in Region 4A, securing home games for both ends if you're able to keep winning, is huge. So it starts tonight for the Tanagers against Dell Rapids, and we'll have all the coverage when we come back. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank on the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame show on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Welcome back. I was doing some cheers, dazzling the crowd, but this has been the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company pregame, postgame show as the Tanager girls fall to Dell Rapids. We're getting ready for the boys to be introduced. The boys, Tanager boys in their black uniforms with red numbers with white trim, white letters with red trim. Dell Rapids in those clean white uniforms with red, orange letters and numbers, no trim. Just a nice clean look. So Dell Rapids, they are 6-7 on the season, but that's a little deceptive. They started off 0-4. They are 6-3 over their last 9 games. So this should be a pretty good matchup as they were developing new players, new teams working together. And again, for the Tanager boys, well, they're coming off. Vermillion coming off that loss to Sioux Falls Christian. As we do starting lineups brought to you by Central Farmers Cooperative. For Vermillion, starting at guard, a 5'10" junior guard, number 13, Spencer Blanchette. 5'11" senior guard, number 21, Trenton Thomas. A 6'5" junior forward, number 30, Luke Jensen. Gabe Larson, a 6'1" senior guard, number 32. And Trey Hansen, a 6'4" senior guard, who just became the all-time leading scorer in Tanager history. So congratulations. He'll probably end up his career with the most assists as well, in the top 5 or most steals, second in assists, one of the top 5 rebounders in Tanager history. So on the season, Trey Hansen leading this team in scoring with 25.3 points per game. And then Luke Jensen averaging 16.5. And then a nice mix, Spencer Blanchette, 6.5. Trenton Thomas, 6.3. Gabe Larson, 5.7. 2.8 for Cale Cleveland. So nice balance there for this Tanager team. Rebounding, Trey Hansen leads the way at 7.5 per game. 5.1 for Gabe Larson. 4.6 for Luke Jensen. 3.6 for Spencer. And 2.6 for Trenton Thomas. And assists, Trey Hansen leads the way, 5.5 per game. By far the lead on the team, and 3 steals per game. Luke Jensen leads the way with 1 block per game. So this Tanager team doing well. This Tanager team doing well on the season. You know, not successful against Sioux Falls Christian, but competitive. Their losses are to some really good teams, top 10 teams in the state. So the biggest problem for Vermillion is that 2 of those teams, Lennox and Sioux Falls Christian, are in their district. Or in their region. So hopefully if you want to get to Sodak 16, you have to get past one of them. As they're introducing the I have somebody texting me here. Oh, yeah. Sorry, just had a text from Sydney Johnson. We're lining up an interview, so I thought I'd get back to her. All right, there you have got the hype video going for the Dell Rapids Quarriers. Parker, what do you expect from tonight's game with the Tanager boys and the Quarriers?
Well, Vermillion will probably continue their hot streak, really have that well-balanced offense. I mean, Trey Hansen is amazing, creating shots, shooting the 3. Luke Jensen down low, Gabe Larson kind of all over the court. And like you said, they have a very deep roster. Dell Rapids really, you know, if they want to position themselves for Sodak 16, they've got to win games like this one against Vermillion, the ones where you're kind of a little bit closer to your opponent. They'll have to really make sure to hit their open 3s, run the fast break very well, because if you play slow, let the other team control the pace, you're not going to win the game. So Vermillion will have to watch out for that on the fast break.
And I think you're exactly right. And so here are the starting lineups brought to you by Central Farmers Cooperative for Dell Rapids. At a guard, 6'2" senior, number 1, Carson Pay. 6'1" junior guard, number 11, Lincoln Anderson. Then a 6'3" freshman guard, number 22, Camden Jones. At another guard, 6' junior defensive specialist, number 24, Jackson Pepple. And then finally, number 35, a 6'1" junior forward, Jace Brendy. So what you did hear there, Vermillion does have a significant size advantage, height advantage when you start looking at Luke Jensen and Trey Hansen out there in that starting lineup. And then when you can bring in Cale Cleveland, another 6'1", 6'2" player. So we'll see if Vermillion can use that height to their advantage. So Trey Hansen will begin, jump for Vermillion. Jumping for Dell Rapids will be number 35, junior Jace Brendy. About a 4-inch height difference between the two. And that tip is kind of won by Dell Rapids. A lot of contact there. And again, Dell Rapids moving left to right on your screen. Vermillion right to left. As there's a rebound by Trenton Thomas on the miss by Lincoln Anderson. Lincoln, probably named after the car company. There's Trey Hansen in the corner. Down to Luke Jensen. That didn't even get a response. Blanchette on the left side. Gabe Larson, long three. Drains it! Gabe Larson with the three. And I have said it before, this is no offense to anyone. I just love Gabe Larson as a player. One of my favorites out there that I've ever gotten to call for. Just constant motor. So here's Dell Rapids moving left to right. As it's Camden Jones with the ball. Gets it over to Carson Pay. Long three-point attempt. No, just short for Lincoln Anderson. Rebound to Trey Hansen. Ahead to Gabe Larson, and Larson with another bucket. 5 points for Gabe Larson, pretty much his season average. Trey Hansen with the assist. Vermillion off to a hot start here. Ball in the hands of Camden Jones. Drives the baseline. Little pull-up jumper, short. Rebound there by Trenton Thomas. Trey Hansen, long three, drains it. Wow, this is a fast start for this Tanager team. A minute 45 in and a timeout taken by Dell Rapids. We'll take a timeout as well. Brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion on the Masaba scoreboard. Vermillion leads 8-0.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Pack it up, pack it in. It's time to begin. Minute 45 in. Vermillion leads 8-0 on the Masaba scoreboard. Really could not ask for a better start for the Tanagers as Dell Rapids inbounds the ball to Carson Pay. Gabe Larson with 5 points. Trey Hansen hits a deep three. 8-0 lead for the Tanagers. We are 2 minutes in now. Good defense. Long three-point attempt there. No good for Jackson Pepple. Rebound to Spencer Blanchette. Trey gets it out to Gabe Larson for a long three-pointer attempt. No good. Rebound Trey Hansen. Up and in. Nice job there by Trey. Pepple drives in, or Camden Jones, and that's going to be a jump ball created by Luke Jensen. So you can't ask for a much better start than the Tanagers got here in the first 2.5 minutes of play.
Yeah, they're controlling the game. They just forced a jump ball there, hands-up defense, double teaming when necessary, and they're spreading the wealth. They're taking threes. They're finishing at the basket. It's just an all-around performance.
Trenton Thomas from the corner. And they're going to call a push-off on Spencer Blanchette. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying the official who called it was a ways away, and there were bodies in the way. I'm a little surprised that he made that call. 5:23 to go. I mean, Blanchette had space. I just didn't see it. But nice defense here by Gabe Larson on Carson Pay. Anderson in the corner. Picked up there. Little pull-up jumper there for Lincoln Anderson. Gets Dell Rapids on the board. 10-2 with 4:54 to go. Quick pace already almost halfway through this first quarter. Jensen, he'll pull up for the three, and he'll drain it. Luke Jensen hits the three, makes it 13-2 in favor of Vermillion. Again, this is a young team. Carson Pay, the one senior starter out there for Dell Rapids, as Camden Jones left it short. Trey Hansen with the rebound. Gabe Larson over to Blanchette. They're going to call a travel on Blanchette. Boy, just not Spencer's night right now here in this first quarter. The one foul, they're saying he shuffled his feet on that three-pointer. And you know me, I love to say when somebody made a wrong call, he did shuffle his feet. I saw that. So it's not a wrong call. It's just not Spencer's quarter right now. Good defense there by Luke, but a nice play by Carson Pay to get the lay-in. 4:08 to go, 13-4. Vermillion leads. In the corner to Trenton Thomas for three. Drains it. Trenton Thomas, fourth Tanager with 3 points. Makes it 16-4. Here's Lincoln Anderson, guarded by Blanchette up top. Camden Jones gets it back up top to Lincoln Anderson. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Step back three. Drained by Lincoln Anderson. He now has 5 points on the night. 3:15 to go. Vermillion with a 9-point lead. Jensen drives in, and he's going to be fouled. That foul is going to be called on Camden Jones, the freshman. That'll be his first personal. As checking in will be Caden Smith. Caden Smith and Andrew Sheberl. Cale Cleveland checks in for Trenton Thomas. As Trey Hansen inbounds to Gabe Larson. Trey under the basket, up and good. And Trey is fouled immediately by Caden Smith. Caden wanted to get in the books right away, made sure his name's in there for posterity's sake. So that's the second team foul. As Trey Hansen goes to the line for the and one, and he gets it. So Trey Hansen with a quick 8 points on the night. Nice pass and nice play there by Camden Jones of Dell Rapids. 2:42 to go, 19-9, 10-point lead for the Tanagers. Trey, long three, just left short. Rebound there by Cale Cleveland on the floor. That will be a jump ball. Took a while for him to call the jump ball, but it was eventually called. And I believe that will stay with Dell Rapids now. So 2:31 to go. Vermillion leads by 10. A fast-paced first quarter. And if you're Dell Rapids, as well as Vermillion's playing, you're only down 10.
Yeah, Dell Rapids has really stayed up with this pace, and they turn it over right there.
But Caden Smith dribbled that off his foot, tried to go between his legs. And so 2:17 to go. Trey Hansen bringing the ball up. Gabe Larson for three, just short. Trey Hansen with the rebound and the putback, though. Already 10 points and 4 rebounds for Trey Hansen. Do not follow what their scoreboard says. They gave 2 points to Gabe Larson. That should have been Trey's. I'm positive. I'd bet Parker's life on it.
There we go. It must be a sure thing then. Well, Trey Hansen really has been taking an advantage of the height disparity here. He's taller than any player on Dell Rapids, and he's really finishing inside. And
Lincoln Anderson is short on that shot. Luke Jensen with the rebound. Vermillion with a 12-point lead. Luke Jensen gets it down low to Gabe Larson. Reverse layup. Wow! This Tanager team is playing like a well-oiled machine. And that's going to be a travel on Camden Jones, sorry. As Trenton Thomas checks in for Spencer Blanchette. Carson Mason, the other senior on this Dell Rapids team, checks in. They called a moving screen on Luke Jensen. That'll be his first personal. And I will say the pace has slowed significantly the final 4 minutes of this quarter, as there's been more fouls and turnovers and out-of-bounds plays. But Vermillion has slowly built a 14-point lead, quietly. As they get the ball over to Carson Pay. Here's Lincoln Anderson, straight ahead three, cannot connect. Rebound, Trey Hansen. I have him down for 5 rebounds already here in the first quarter. 55 seconds to go. As Lincoln Anderson swats it away, but Trey Hansen recovers. Gabe Larson, little step-back jumper. That is blocked. Trey Hansen is fouled on the shot on the baseline jumper. So Trey will go to the line to shoot 2. Checking in for Dell Rapids will be number 22, Camden Jones. As Trey Hansen goes to the line to shoot 2. First free throw, good. On the season, Trey shoots 77% from the free throw line. 40.9 seconds to go in the quarter. That free throw is also good. 12 points on the night for Trey already. So Camden Jones's pass to Carson Mason is out of bounds. I think Mason thought Vermillion had touched it, and I don't know if they did or not, but the officials disagree. So shot clock is off. Vermillion will play for the final shot. Trey Hansen guarded up top by Hudson Wolf. 10 seconds to go. Trey gets it over to Jensen. Jensen for the long three. Can't get it to fall, but Larson with the rebound and the putback. And Gabe Larson. Oh! That half-court shot, three-quarters court shot, almost good for Dell Rapids, but not. So on the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 27-9 after 1 quarter of play. This is Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood, down at the lumberyard, down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women. Names like Ariat and Carhartt for men. Boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads after 1 quarter of play, 27-9. Vermillion being led in scoring by Trey Hansen with 12 and Gabe Larson with 9. So Trey drives in the left side, little Euro step up and in. Trey Hansen with 14 points now. Hudson Wolf drives in, and they're calling a blocking foul on Trenton Thomas. Man, he was there for a while, but he might have tried to slide in just a little bit. That'll be Trenton Thomas's first personal. That's the team's first of the quarter as Hudson Wolf goes to the line to shoot two. That sounds like a great PI name. Doesn't it? Hudson Wolf?
Private investigator.
Because Bruce Willis had a movie called Hudson Hawk, so I'm kind of thinking along those lines.
There you go.
As Hudson Wolf does hit that first free throw. He hits both. So Hudson Wolf is in the scorebooks. It's 29-11, as now checking in will be Jackson Peppel. Checking out is Hudson Wolf. Again, the Central Farmers Cooperative starting lineup for Vermillion this quarter, same as the first quarter. Trenton Thomas, Spencer Blanchette, Trey Hansen, and Luke Jensen. Trey gets it over to Trenton Thomas. He'll take that three from the corner, just off the mark. Rebound there by Carson Pay. Pay drives in, little floater up and cannot get it to fall. Trey Hansen skies for the rebound. Luke Jensen out to Thomas. Over to Blanchette in the corner. Trey Hansen from the three-point line creates himself and up and in with the finger roll, a la George Gervin, Iceman.
Yeah, that was great hang time there for him to finish and manage to make it through the contact. I mean, you don't see many players in high school that can really just keep the ball and maneuver around and swing the ball around, and looks like he follows it up with that free throw.
Now he's really good. So 17 points on the night for Trey Hansen. As he hasn't decided what he's doing or where he's playing at the next level. But, boy, he's going to make some team very happy, I think. His brother Carter plays down at Morningside. Nice recovery time there by Trey on the shot by Andrew Sherbert. Luke Jensen with the rebound. Luke with the little pull-up jumper in the paint. Can't get it to fall. Rebound taken down by Camden Jones. But that pass is through the hands of Jackson Peppel. And that turnover will take it back to Vermillion. Jace Brendy checks in. Carson Mason checks out. Are either of you familiar with the movie Hudson Hawk?
No.
I am just full of useless knowledge for you guys. Here's Spencer Blanchette at the top of the key. Nice play by Luke Jensen. And yeah, it was a three. Kind of blocked by the coach. I couldn't tell, but yeah, Luke Jensen with his second three-pointer of the night. He now has 12 points. Trenton Thomas with the rebound off that miss. Vermillion with a 24-point lead. Gabe Larson gets it down into the corner to Blanchette. Blanchette, the only starter yet to score. As that pass is a little errant and stolen away by Jackson Peppel. Whoa! Jace Brendy blocked by Trey Hansen. Nice play there. As Hudson Wolf and Lincoln Anderson check back in. Carson Pay checks out, along with Andrew Sherbrell. Nice defense by this Tanager team. And that's going to be a travel on Jace Brendy. That's one way to get behind by Trey.
Yeah, it is really tough to get around a defender that's 6'4" and can block a shot the way he just did.
Exactly. Now, Trey Hansen, he's a beast. And, that's Trey. And then you start talking about every other player. Spencer Blanchette hands it off to Luke Jensen. And that's going to be another timeout taken by Dell Rapids, as Vermillion now leads by 26 on the Masaba scoreboard. 37-11, 5:10 to go. This is Tanager basketball on Fox Sports Radio, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Before we came back. See, I'm safe. I was talking about a quote by D.C. Stevenson from a podcast I was listening to the other day. So Parker says he's never used it. I have, but nothing wrong with it. It's a famous quote in politics. 5:10 to go, 37-11. The look on Parker's face right now. As Dell Rapids has the ball, bringing it up is Caden Smith. Honestly, a nice play there by Jace Brendy because that ball was going straight to Spencer Blanchette. And then it ended up going off of Blanchette's fingertips. So Dell Rapids with 25 seconds on the shot clock, 5 minutes on the game clock will inbound behind their basket. Oh, okay, they're going to call a foul on the floor, maybe on Luke. Yep, Luke Jensen with his second personal, second team foul. So Caden Smith will go behind on the baseline to inbound. It's Caden Smith, Lincoln Anderson. Miscommunication. Blanchette will lay it in for his first points of the night. Every starter has now scored for the Tanagers. 39-11 with 4:47 to go here in quarter number 2. Again, Dell Rapids is a young team, a developing team, and there's a rebound for Spencer Blanchette. So, they're going to be tough. A lot of sophomores and juniors here. As Blanchette now scores another bucket for 4 points, and Coach wants to take another timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Vermillion leads by 30 on the Masaba scoreboard. Remember, not running clock until the second half, though. 4:23 to go here in quarter number 2. Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Slumberland Furniture at 2401 Broadway in Yankton, home of Kirkland Furniture Groups, bedroom groups by Laguna, and dining sets by Tower and Catadel. They're also the only place to offer furniture by Flex Steel and the biggest selection of Lazy Boy in the area. The Mattress Gallery is full of the best brand name mattresses in the business, including the all-new Tempur-Pedic Active Breeze personalized climate-controlled mattress. Slumberland Furniture, dining, bedroom sets, and mattresses in Yankton.
Welcome back to Dell Rapids High School. I'm Michael Schumacher with Eve Holly and Parker Orr, where the Tanagers lead 41-11. With 4:23 to go. Here in the second quarter. I'm always amazed with Instagram when I get new followers. It's amazing how hot they usually are and how they can't speak very good English in their phrasing. Dell Rapids with the ball. Kicks it out to Drew Burrish, his first time in. As this Vermillion defense is just swarming tonight. I don't know that Vermillion could play much better than they are right now. Little pull-up jumper, no good. Trenton Thomas with the rebound. I mean, is there anything that you've seen as far as a weakness on this Tanager team so far tonight?
No, they've played well. They've passed the ball around. They're making their shots. Look at that one.
An assist for Trey Hansen. Luke Jensen just going across the middle. Hits the little jumper in the paint. Good defense there by Luke. Rebound by Trey Hansen. Trey kicks it out to Blanchette. They probably could have called a travel there on Spencer, but they didn't. Rebound into the hands of Camden Jones. Camden Jones takes it coast to coast. He now has two buckets, 4 points on the night. 3:12 to go, back to a 30-point lead for Vermillion. So I think they called 3-second violation. So that'll be a turnover as Trenton Thomas comes out and Cale Cleveland checks in. So they're going to call a foul on Gabe Larson. Gabe's like, what? That's his first personal, third team foul. Nice inbound there to Camden Jones for a bucket, his third of the night. And Coach Drake wants to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Tanagers lead 43-15, 2:50 to go in quarter number 2. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back to Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Good Vermillion crowd here tonight as Trey Hansen drives in 43-15. Trey Hansen loses the handle on it. No foul called. Lincoln Anderson can't connect. Ball is saved, but into the hands of Cale Cleveland. As Luke Jensen gets the ball from Blanchette. Blanchette with his second assist. Luke Jensen now has 7 points. As that is short rebound there for Luke. And was that Trey Hansen?
Yeah, Trey Hansen pulled up for three, about 4 feet behind the line.
Oh, that's a travel. So Trey Hansen checks out. That's not something you normally see, but I think they're getting ready to just kind of take it easy here with a 33-point lead. So now in you have Tyson Hovden, and we saw him in the JV matchup. He was the leading scorer for the team in the JV win. As Blanchette has it at the top of the key. Kicks it out to Cale Cleveland. Good athleticism. Cale takes it to the hole. He's going to draw a foul. Now this, I'm not meaning to diss on whoever's controlling the scoreboard, but they gave a couple of buckets to Luke Jensen that belonged to Trey. So up there it says 18 points for Trey Hansen. I have him at 22. Or 20, I mean. And so, remember, Gabe Larson had been given 2 of Trey's as well. So, yeah, it's interesting. Because I totaled mine up. I'm actually good on the numbers, so. 48-15, second free throw up and good for Cleveland. Cleveland now has a point on the night. Every player in the main rotation, that 6-man rotation, has scored now for Vermillion. Has Hovden out there with Cleveland, Blanchette, Jensen, and Larson. Larson guarding on Pay. Just a great defensive effort for the Tanagers. As that's Lincoln Anderson out there. Nice little move by Anderson, but to no avail. That'll be out of bounds off of Anderson off the rebound. So with 1:05 to go in quarter number 2, Vermillion leads by 34. And just as a reminder, 30-point lead in the second half does trigger a running clock. So 1 minute to go. Blanchette out to Hovden. Hovden for 3. Cannot get it to fall. Rebound by Jace Brendy. So Dell Rapids moving the ball around. Three-point attempt there, no good by Jackson Peppel. Rebound to Luke Jensen. So Vermillion again with the shot clock off now. I think they'll play for the final shot, leading by 34. So barring some sort of catastrophe here in the next 20 seconds, it will be running clock in the second half unless Dell Rapids can then cut it significantly at some point in the second half. So Blanchette with the ball at the top of the key. 10 seconds to go. And that's going to be a foul out at the top of the key by Carson Pay. Now they have fouls to give. So that'll be Pay's first personal. So Vermillion's going down to inbound along the baseline. As they get it into Luke. Luke, little move, nice turnaround as he lays it in. Kind of an old Hakeem Olajuwon. And that shot by Anderson was not off in time. Oh, heartbreaking. As the score is 51-15. Vermillion outscores Dell Rapids 24-6 in that second quarter. We'll be back with our halftime show after these messages. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Warmer days are coming, and sooner or later your air conditioning will need to kick in as well. But what if it doesn't? Well, don't wait. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling. With 43 years in the business, we're very knowledgeable on what we do and how we serve our customers. You can rest assured that when you call day or night, someone will always pick up the call. Join our elite club today and become a priority member. Skip the line, get discounts on services, and have no overtime fees. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling for expert service from factory-trained technicians.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. At the half, Tanager boys lead 51-15. This is the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company halftime show. And with us we have Coach John Brooks. Coach, just kind of a rough night. Got off to a really good start and then just unable to keep it up. And just what were some of the things that you felt led to tonight's game?
Like you said, on the road, we said we had to play hard and bring energy right from the start and get after it. And I thought we did. The first 4 minutes we were pretty dang good, and then their size inside just kind of got to us. We did not battle inside in the paint, whether it was defending in the block, whether it was rebounding, whatever it was down low. We just couldn't get them stopped. And then Thorson for them was the number one kid on our scoring. Our scouting point. We let her go off for 28 tonight. So defensively, we just weren't good enough tonight.
Well, and down low, not only do they have height, but both Schultz and Schoenhardt, they have surprising athleticism for their height. To be able to dribble, drive, and penetrate. But they're also a little maybe thicker, just a little bit harder to move. But then on the other side, you have number 5, I'm blanking on her name now, Thorsness, just had an amazing night. So it kind of felt like an inside-outside punch. And then Taylor, just on some of her floaters, those normal ones that just drop for just kind of leaving short all night. So it kind of felt like some missed opportunities down there.
Yeah, and and that's the thing is that's what Dell Rapids. We told our girls this. They got a really nice setup because they got Thorson at point guard who's really, really good. They got Schultz inside who's really, really good. So they got a good inside-outside game, and then they put good pieces around them. And like I said, we had both those kids circled yesterday in our scouting report. We had both of them circled on the board today, and I think they combined went for like 45 tonight. So that was. That was tough. That was something that we knew we couldn't allow to happen if we wanted a chance to win. And then, we just hit some cold streaks there. They went to their 2-3 zone, and we struggled. It wasn't so much the shooting; a lot of it was just the ball handling. We struggled completing passes, catching the ball, so we could get the ball reversed. We just weren't very clean and crisp with it, and then we had to force some shots. So, frustrating night for us.
And so, obviously it's Thursday night. You have one day, and then you travel. And you take on Flandreau up in Sioux Valley. What's the mindset tomorrow? How do you attack this?
Yeah, we got to find a way to regroup quickly because Flandreau's very good as well. Very long, very athletic. both Shepherd sisters that are very, very good. We're going to see two kids like we saw tonight against Dell Rapids. We're going to see that again with Flandre, and they put really good pieces around them. So I just tuned into their score against Dubrook, who Dubrook has a good team this year, and Flandre was up 20-1 at half. Only gave up 1 point in the first half. So they're very good defensively. So we got to clean some things up and hopefully get our kids get some confidence back in them and get ready to go play a really good team on Saturday.
All right. Well, Coach, I'll let you go. I know you guys are heading out, but thank you so much for stopping by. I know it's not always pleasant, but I do appreciate it.
No, absolutely. You bet. Thanks, Michael.
Hey, thank you.
Right.
That's Coach John Brooks with us here on our VCDC halftime show where the Tanager boys lead 51-15. We'll be back after these messages. We'll take a look around the state and some stats brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort in Yankton, Vermillion, and Sioux City. With Parker Orr, I'm Michael Schumacher. This is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/career. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Todd's Electric, your full-service electrical contracting company. Todd's Electric services residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial customers. From the simplest service call to the most complex design build project, Todd's Electric has the expertise to do it right. Call Todd's Electric for all your electrical needs. Todd's Electric, helping you control all things electric. Except for lightning. Todd's Electric. Go Tanagers!
Wanting a specialist without leaving town? We've got you covered. Our clinic offers specialists for the health and wellness of your family. From pediatricians to OBGYNs, plus primary care. You can find it all at Vermillion Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
If you're looking for the perfect fit, Vermillion Vision Care Associates fits like the right pair of glasses. Vision Care Associates has its roots in family eye care, and the doctors are well known for being primary eye care providers. With the ability to treat and diagnose a variety of settings, Vermillion Vision Care Associates is the right fit for you. Plus, they can fit you into a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contacts that feel just right. With continuing education, see the best doctors at Vermillion Vision Care Associates.
When you need top-notch appliances that last, trust the experts at Murph's Appliance. From washers and dryers to refrigerators, they have all the trusted brands to keep your home running smoothly. At Murph's, you'll find Maytag appliances built for durability and service you can count on. Whether it's a new oven or a repair, they're there for you every step of the way. Stop on down to Murph's Appliance, your local Maytag dealer in Vermillion. Maytag and Murph's, reliable just like you.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher with Eve Holly and Parker Orr. At the half, Vermillion leads 51-15. Vermillion led by Trey Hansen's 20 points, Luke Jensen with 12, Gabe Larson with 11, Spencer Blanchette with 4, Trenton Thomas with 3, and Cale Cleveland with 1. Tyson Hovden also played in that first half for Vermillion. For Dell Rapids, they are led by Camden Jones with 6, Lincoln Anderson with 5, and 2 points for Hudson Wolf and 2 for Carson Pay. So pretty much I think the story is Vermillion played well in that first half. 20 of 29 from the field, 20 rebounds to 6 for Dell Rapids, 6 out of 13 from the three-point line, only 3 turnovers compared to 9. I think that just sums it up right there.
Yeah, Vermillion has executed on both sides of the floor. They're crashing the glass. They're passing to the open man. They're hitting every single three that comes their way, and they're finishing, and they're even getting to the free throw line. They're playing a perfect ball game, and Del Rapids they caught Vermillion on a bad night because Vermillion can't miss today.
They really can't, and so, it's a big night. You got to love it if you're Vermillion. A chance to really get some decent seed points, too. Del Rapids, even though they're at 6 and 7, they'd be 6 and 8. It's one of those middling teams that you need to make sure you're beating to make sure that you are positioning yourself for the SODAC 16 for regions. So again, Vermillion will start off with the same starting five. I know Coach Drake likes to have them come out of the half just because it's a mindset. You want to make sure you're coming out strong. But we will remind you it will be running clock this entire time, unless Del Rapids is able to make a strong run here. Starting for Del Rapids, it's Lincoln Anderson along with Jace Brendy. Camden Jones and Jackson Pepple. There's a steal for Trey Hansen over to Trenton Thomas. And Thomas is going to be fouled by Jace Brendy. That was I don't know, that feels like a ticky-tack foul right there. I don't know that I saw enough contact to... in case you weren't watching, if you're listening on the radio, basically Brendy went high enough as he came to a jump stop, and basically Trenton Thomas almost had to give him a piggyback ride. As Gabe Larson has the ball out. Little pull-up jumper for Spencer Blanchette, just short. Rebound into the hands of Carson Pay. As that ball will be out of bounds. And we are 1 minute gone here in quarter number 3. That ball will be out of bounds off of Vermillion. With 1 minute to go in the fourth, Yankton leads Huron. The Yankton Gazelles lead Huron 54-50 with 1 minute to go. As Camden Jones hits that in the paint. So let me pull that up here so I can try to give you some updates as we go. This would be a huge win for the Gazelles as Gabe Larson hits that three. Makes it 54-17. And Jace Brendy almost looked like he was trying for a dunk. Didn't quite connect. 6:05 to go. Vermillion with that 54-17 lead. Trey Hansen to Luke Jensen. Jensen drives in. Kicks it out to Blanchette. Jensen for three. Drains it. Luke Jensen with his third three-pointer of the night. Makes it 57-17, a 40-point lead for the Tanagers. Lincoln Anderson for three. His second three-pointer of the night gives him 8 points on the evening. Trey Hansen drives in. Some contact, no call, but that's okay. Trey still makes it. He's at 22.
Yeah, the philosophy with keeping the starters in here, you want to make sure that they can't stop it from being that 30-point lead and making it too comfortable before you swap in some players for experience for sure.
The Yankton Gazelles have defeated the Huron Tigers. The Yankton Gazelles with a huge win. And this is one, Zach and I talked about it earlier this week, that if the Gazelles wanted to position themselves for the SODAC 16, that they needed to have. Now, Huron on the season was 5-6 heading into this. They had beaten Brookings, Rapid City Central, Rapid City Stevens, Sioux Falls Lincoln, and Brookings again. So no wins against, great teams, but still 5 wins on the season. So a really nice win for the Gazelles. Little floater up there for Trey Hansen. So congratulations to the Gazelles on a nice victory. There's a nice block by Trey Hansen. Ahead to Spencer Blanchette. And we're going to have a subbing out here. I think it's going to be an old hockey line change. As checking in for Vermillion. At this timeout, brought to you by Murph's Appliance. We'll be right back after this timeout. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
It's funny how life is made up of moments. Quiet ones, big ones, and ones you never forget. A wish, a milestone, a moment you didn't know would mean so much. Because life is made in the moments we share. Voyage Federal Credit Union. For every memory made, for every moment ahead.
Welcome back to Tanager Basketball. Vermillion leads 63-20 with 3:48 to go here in quarter number 3. Now out there for Vermillion, you have Henry Orr, Daxton Christensen, Cale Cleveland, Tyson Hovden, and Grant Rohrig. And there's a nice lay-in for Andrew Sheberl. Sheberl with his first points of the night makes it 63-22. Rohrig thought about the three, goes into the paint, up with the right hand, and no good. Rebound into the hands of Dell Rapids. So this will be a nice win for the Tanagers. Dell Rapids will fall to 6-8, but Vermillion, they're positioning themselves for a nice seed in the regions as well. As Hovden gets it down to Christensen. Christensen drives in. Nice spin move up and in for Daxton Christensen. 65-22. As this will make Vermillion 8-4. As that'll be an offensive foul on Dell Rapids. That's Lincoln Anderson's first personal, first team foul, as Dell Rapids trails 65-22 on the Mesaba scoreboard. 2:12 to go here in quarter number 3. Again, running clock. Cleveland drives in, has it blocked from behind by Hudson Wolf. He was hungry for that block. Oh, come on, that was good.
Solid.
Yeah. And Cleveland drives the baseline, can't hit, but gets his own rebound. Can't hit again, but is fouled. There's a Duran Duran fan out there thinking, yes, I was waiting for that.
I mean, that's a good song. I think anyone can enjoy it.
Yeah. So Cale Cleveland at the line to shoot 2. First free throw for Cale, just short. As Cleveland on the season from the free throw line, that is his first miss. He's now 2 of 3. Make that 3 of 4. And there's a nice long three-pointer. That's by Carson Mason. Now it's down to a 41-point lead for Vermillion. 1:11 to go here in quarter number 3. Again, running clock keeps that clock going. Here's the ball in the hands of Henry Orr. Orr in the paint, kicks it out to Hovden. Hovden goes up and has that blocked out of bounds. So in for Dell Rapids comes number 21, Eli Gullickson. Gullickson, a 6-foot sophomore. Out goes number 12, 6'3" sophomore Andrew Sheberl. Nice steal there by Dell Rapids. Fast break. They get it up top to Caden Smith for 3. Cannot hit. And that ball is saved into the hands of Tyson Hovden, who gets it ahead to Henry Orr. Orr up and in. So Hovden with the assist, Orr with the bucket. 43-point lead for the Tanagers now with 13 seconds to go in the quarter. As they hit a cutting Eli Gullickson. 2 seconds to go. Three-pointer there will be off the mark, and that's the way the third quarter will end. 68-25. Vermillion outscores Del Rapids 17-10 in that quarter. We'll be back with the fourth quarter action after these messages. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG.
Welcome back to Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Vermillion leads here in the fourth quarter by a score of 68-25, and again, it will be running clock. Makes Parker's job that much easier, that he doesn't have to worry about the clock too much right now. As Vermillion will inbound. So again, Vermillion will come away with a victory. They'll move to 8-4 on the season. Daxton Christensen under the basket. Feeds Tyson Hovden. Hovden with his first bucket of the night. As they get it into Drew Burrish. Nice move there by not Camden Jones, by Hudson Wolf. One minute gone here in quarter number 4. Grant Rohrig with the ball, gets it over to Hovden. Hovden. Or with the turnaround jumper, cannot hit. Rebound by Caden Smith. They get it down low to Wolf. And Wolf is going to be fouled. So that's a foul by Daxton Christensen, his first personal. As Cale Cleveland checks out and Lucas Solomon checks in. And that'll be a foul on the shot, so the clock will actually stop for free throws. So that foul will be on Lucas Solomon. First free throw for Stratton Tennis is up and good. Misses the second, rebound into the hands of Rohrig. So with 5:48 to go, Vermillion brings the ball up. It's Tyson Hovden, Grant Rohrig, Daxton Christensen, Henry Orr, and Lucas Solomon out there for the Tanagers. Hovden over to Orr. Nice give and go. Hovden's second assist of the night. Again, this weekend, Vermillion boys will be playing Groton area at the DAC 12 NEC Clash. Katie and I will be on the call from Madison. The girls are playing up in Sioux Valley against Flandreau. I haven't heard from Sioux Valley if I'm able to cover it, but B, timing-wise, I don't know that I can, as that game is scheduled to start at 6:30. The game in Madison is scheduled to start at 2:45, but it's the third game of the day. Those tend to run a little bit later. So if that starts at 3, if we're not out of there until 4:30, it's just a bit of a cluster mess. So I might have to beg off the girls' game against Flandreau, unfortunately. As Roerig hits that. Roerig now has 2 points on the night. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Nice pointer there for Eli Gullickson. As Christensen gets it over to Roerig, who drives in. Oh, that pass to Orr is just out of his outstretched hands. As Cam Bottleson will now check in. Bottleson checks in for Orr. Did you know when George Washington was sick and dying that they treated him with beetles to create blisters as a way to try to treat the illness?
Yeah, back then they really believed getting rid of sick blood, and that was a bad idea.
Oh,
and
no,
Hovden.
That was in addition to the bleeding. As Hovden hits that, they also siphoned off almost 3/4 of his blood. So, yeah, just bizarre way to... But, yeah, using the beetles ground up to try to create blisters to try to seep out the illness was a choice. And that three-point attempt by Logan Behan is short. Roerig for 3 off the back iron, no good. 76-31, Vermillion with the lead here in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes to go as Dell Rapids will inbound. Now checking in for Vermillion, Brody Meredith. He'll check in for Daxton Christensen. So it's now Meredith, Solomon, Bottleson, Roerig, and Hovden out there for the Tanagers. With 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go, Vermillion leading by 45. As Eli Gullickson gets it out to
Rhett Thorson.
Rhett Thorson. As Bottleson is going to be fouled, and they're going to say it wasn't even on a shot. They're going to inbound it, I believe. So as the clock continues to run, Hovden will inbound the ball. As Roerig drives in the baseline, tries to get it to Hovden. Hovden can't control it, saves it, but saves it into the hands of Gullickson. That three-point attempt for Thorson, no good, but he gets his rebound up and in for Thorson. Playing among the trees as Thorson. Thorson is a sophomore, 5'6", Rhett Thorson. I almost feel like 5'6".
Oh, he just got a steal.
As he gets a steal here. He passes it off to Stratton Tennis. So Thorson with a bucket, an assist, a steal.
All in a minute.
Yeah. Minute 20 to go. Again, Vermillion will win. As Roerig gets it over to Brody Meredith. With a minute 8 to go. Hovden tries to hit a cutting Meredith, and that'll be out of bounds. Also, did you know there's a middle school in Los Angeles named after D.W. Griffith?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Do you know who D.W. Griffith is?
That I also don't know.
The director of Birth of a Nation. I have no idea how that is still has his name on anything. 36 seconds to go. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. 76-35 as Hovden brings the ball up. Again, Solomon out there. Roerig, Meredith, Bottleson, and Hovden. Vermillion might just hold the ball, pass it back and forth, and take the shot clock violation. Like I said, about a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. We'll know for sure here in a moment. And the clock will continue to run. And that will do it. Vermillion boys will move to 8-4 on the season, winning 76-35 as they were outscored in that quarter, 10-8. We'll be back with our Vermillion Chamber and Development Company post-game show. We'll have some stats. Hopefully Coach Jay Drake will come up. He knows we're here, so hopefully he will. And we'll take a look around the state, brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort. With Eve Holly and Parker Orr, I'm Michael Schumacher. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion treats you like family. They believe a healthy smile starts with compassionate care. From toddlers to grandparents, their gentle team is here for your whole family. Whether it's a routine checkup or a full smile makeover, they'll keep you comfortable and confident. Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion makes your smile shine. Visit Knutson Family Dentistry online or call today, 605-624-6291.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too for future employment. No experience necessary. We will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you a pic so you can see what I mean.
Oh my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team, fixing pickles since 1984.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you got to call Kalen's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kalen's to anyone.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank with Parker Orr and Eve Holly. I'm Michael Schumacher. Vermillion comes away with a 76-35 victory in the nightcap as the boys win. They move to 8-4 on the season. Vermillion was led in scoring by Trey Hansen's 24, Luke Jensen 17, Gabe Larson with 12, 6 for Blanchette, 3 for Thomas, 2 for Cleveland, 4 for Hovden, 4 for Orr, 2 for Rohrig, and 2 for Daxton Christensen. For Dell Rapids, they were led in scoring 8 points for both Camden Jones and Lincoln Anderson, 4 points for Hudson Wolf, 3 points for Stratton Tennis, 2 points for Carson Pay, 2 points for Rhett Thorson, 2 points for Andrew Sheberl, and 3 points for number 23, Carson Mation. So just a really dominant performance by this Tanager team. And it's a great way to kind of rebound after that loss to Sioux Falls Christian. Now, they get a tough test on Saturday as they go up to Madison, part of the DAC-12 NEC Clash, to take on the Groton Area Tigers, who they beat convincingly to start the year. But Groton Area, one of the top 10 teams in the state, so it should be a tough competition. But what did you see tonight that gives you hope for this Tanager team? And then, did you see anything that you think they need to work on? As Coach Jay Drake is here, I suppose we can ask him that same question.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that one.
Here on the Vermillion Chamber and Development Company post-game show. All right, Coach, a pretty nice win. You got a chance to get everybody into the game. You never want to say flawless, but it felt like everything was clicking for you guys tonight from the very beginning. Intensity, the passing and defense, it just felt like everything was working for you.
Yeah, our probably best game of the year, right? And most complete game, both ends of the floor. And we were worried as a coaching staff. You know, we talked about sometimes we told our group the urgency you have to play with. And yet, at times, even though this is game 12, we're still trying to get a fingertip or a fingerprint on our group. And sometimes as a coach, you just sense, are we peeking forward a little bit to the Groton game on Saturday? Are we ready to go? Are we, ticked off enough about the 91 that we gave up last Thursday? And, it's been a huge emphasis, obviously, in our 3 practices going into this, but you still never know. And I thought our defensive intensity, we kind of took them out of things. And then, offensively, we were pushing it in transition. Our floor spacing was really, really good. We shared the basketball, got good looks, and still at the end of the day, you got to knock them down, right? But we got people that can shoot the basketball, and I think we were like 20 of 28 or something like that in the first half from the field, shooting close to 70% or whatever it is. So nice, complete game. And we told our guys in the locker room, Dell's is a team that has been scoring a lot of points. Their first game of the year, we talked about a new coach and third different head coach in 3 years, but they had won 6 of their last 9. And other than that first game against West Central to start the year, their last 12 games, they had been averaging 70 points. And they got guys that can score the basketball. And for us to have them at 15 at halftime, and obviously you get it into a running clock, and they got another 20 in the second half, 35 for the game. So half of what they've been averaging here the last 12 games. You get everyone in the basketball game, get some guys some rest at the end of the game, and good start for the week for us.
Well, definitely. And to your point with the offense, if you go and look on the season, they're averaging pretty much what you guys are averaging offensively. It's their defense, the defensive difference. You guys are a more effective defensive team. But how important was it? You kind of talked about, are you going to be ticked off following that 91 points? How effective is it, and how important was it to not just get off to a good start here, but to kind of be able to wash away that loss?
Yeah, it's huge. Teams like West Central Christian, they're very good, for a reason, and they are tough to guard. But we just felt in those games, and at times we've the hard thing is we've shown moments here this year, right, where we've kind of locked some teams down and done some things defensively, but maybe not consistent enough. And then, like you said, the 91 last week, just it can't happen. But you got to have some pride in that, right? You actually have to, it does have to tick you off a little bit. And I think our guys showed that on the court tonight, and they really got after it defensively, which is nice to see. And again, we need to try to bottle some of that up, carry it forward to Saturday, because we know we're going to see a very good and explosive offensive team in Groton.
Well, let's talk about that. It was just about a month ago. You're seeing them almost a month later. It was a Friday night. A Groton area team that, whether you're looking at the polls or the seed point standings, they're right there with you guys. And so they're a tough team. They're one of the top teams in the state. beating a team twice is always tough. So what's the mindset in the next 36 hours, especially because it's also an earlier game for you guys? It's 2:45 is the scheduled time up in Madison.
Yeah, they obviously the crazy thing. I think this is like the 11th or 12th year of the Clash, and it's been a nice thing for I think both conferences. You get to see some teams from a different area of the state, north, and us down in the southeast corner, the Deck-12. What's funny about it though is like we just told our guys, like Groton's become. Almost might as well make them a Deck-12 team, right? This will be the 5th time we've seen them in 3 years. And to their credit, they've tried to add more Deck-12 teams. They've added us, Lennox, West Central, DV over the last few years, just from a competition standpoint. But they've been to back-to-back state tournaments. They've been to 3 of the last 4. Obviously, no doubt a state tournament team this year as well. Team we saw 2 years ago because they saw them in the regular season and then at the state tournament. Then once last year, now the 2nd time this year. So 5 times in a matter of less than 2 years, really, the way it is. So they know us. We know them. All 5 starters back from last year. We had to play a really, really, really good game up there, right? And it went back and forth, and we were able to get a little separation there in the 4th quarter and control some things down the stretch. But it'll be a huge challenge for us, and kind of like you said, it's tough. They probably got a little extra motivation having lost to us earlier this year, but it's good for our team. That's how we grow, and we're going to have to play well. We know that to try to go get one on Saturday.
All right, and then it's kind of a busy week for you this coming week. After that you've got you have more action next week, and so we're rolling into that second half of the season, and it's starting to the seed points do matter. But how much do you look at that as a coach, or do you just have to take it each game and say, hey, we just need to win?
Yeah, it's so cliche, right, when you say one game at a time, and there's a lot of truth to that. But we're lying as coaches if you're not keeping an eye on some things too. And this is the type of game that no matter what happens, if we're able to get them or not get them, they're probably, when you look at their schedule, there's probably another team on their schedule that they'd lose to. So it would be a really good, from a seed point standpoint, a really good game for us if we can go get it on Saturday. And yet, we're in a fight with Lennox right now for that 2nd, 3rd. But it's like we told our group right now, DV is sitting there probably in the 4 seed in our region, but just kind of licking their chops, waiting for someone, whether it's us or Lennox, to kind of slip up for a few games, and they're be it back in the mix of maybe bumping up too. So you try to take it a game at a time. You just got to go play well each night, obviously. But we started a stretch tonight, 5 games in 10 days, right? This is game 1. When we get done with these 5 games next Saturday, when we get the 5 games in 10 days done, we'll only have 4 regular season games after that. And we told them this is kind of the stretch right now, these 5 games that will dictate what those last 4 look like from where we're possibly at in our region seeding standpoint. If we don't take care of some of our business over these next 5 games, 4 now after tanight, maybe we don't put ourselves in a position where we can go compete for maybe a 2 seed or something. But if we can take care of business over these 10 days, we'll have a chance those final 4 games for the last few weeks of the regular season to maybe battle for a 2 seed in our region.
Well, and heading into a stretch like this and heading into a game 36 hours away against such a tough opponent, how nice was it to be able to pull your starters so early in the 3rd? Basically looked like everyone came out healthy. I didn't see any limping or gimping out there, and not have to have a full 32 minutes of court action.
Yeah, it's huge. Just everybody now this time of year, just some bumps and bruises here and there. You always are concerned. We're battling a little illness this week, and you worry about that kind of going through your program, and this is the worst possible time. But, it's always as a coach, when you come out the second half and you're up 36 or whatever it is, you want to keep some rhythm from a game rhythm standpoint, and yet, like you're saying, last thing you want in a game like this is to lose somebody. So we kind of told our crew, let's go have good 4 minutes. Obviously, it's a running clock anyway, and then nice to get everyone in the basketball game that last quarter and a half.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming up. Really appreciate it. We'll see you up in we'll be touching base, but we'll see you up in Madison on Saturday.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Hey, thank you. That's Bye. Coach Jay Drake as the Vermillion Tanagers come away with a really nice 41-point victory over Dell Rapids. Well, Parker, I'm going to pull up some scores here. What's your takeaway?
Well, this is the exact recipe if Vermillion wants to make a playoff push and try to make a run at state. Is they need to play unselfish like they did today. I mean, Trey Hansen effortlessly scored over 20 points, and everyone else was getting a shot up. I mean, Gabe Larson, Luke Jensen, they were finishing very well, and like you said, Spencer Blanchett, he started just a little rough, but he was forcing steals, running the fast break, getting some shots. He was driving and kicking. The team really played like a team today, and you can't understate how important that is if you want to succeed. And this is definitely a good stepping stone for the rest of the season.
Oh, I agree completely. So, we'll see what happens on Saturday as they take on Groton area, a battle of two top 7, top 8 teams in Class A in the state. But let's take a look at scores from around the state in boys action. In Class AA, Sioux Falls, Washington leads Aberdeen Central by 22. Spearfish leads Rapid City Central 23-6. And those are the only score updates in AA boys. In A boys, Hamlin over Sisseton. Elkton Lake Benton over Old M. Ramona Rutland. Roncalli over Britton Hecla. Bon Home leads Andes Central Dakota Christian. AC Lighton and Bolt DC. Millbank over Dual. Madison over Pipestone. Platte Geddes leads Hanson. Belfouche leads Hot Springs. Wagner boys beat Scotland Menno by 1, 57-56. That was a close one. That was in Wagner. I just got to call a Scotland Menno game on Tuesday as they took on Gayville Vollen. Florence Henry leads Great Plains Lutheran with 1 minute to go, 52-51. Sioux Falls Christian leads Dakota Valley by 11 with 4 minutes to go in the third. Stanley County leads Crow Creek. Sioux Valley leads Beersford. Tri-Valley leads EPJ. And those are all the scores from Class A. Get this look around the state brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort in Yankton, Vermillion, and Sioux City. And then in Class B, Lyman wins. Strasburg, Zeeland out of North Dakota, and Wakpala are tied at 61 with 1 minute to go. Ipswich defeats Harriet Selby area 52-51. Harding County defeats Philip 74-53. Elton Lake Benton defeats Oldham Ramona Rutland. Gregory beats Avon 60-56 in overtime. Lemon loses. Bon Home again defeats Andy Central Dakota Christian. Sully Buttes beats Hitchcock Tulare. Class B boys, Viborg Hurley, number 1 in Class B, trailing Centerville 37-33 with 5 minutes to go in that game. So that is a huge one. That's on Centerville Tornadoes Live if you're looking for a more basketball action to watch. Then Aberdeen Christian leading James Valley Christian. Warner over Waverly South Shore. Castlewood leads Iroquois Lake Preston. And just looking at girls action, AA again, that huge win for Yankton, 54-50 as the Gazelles get their 3rd victory of the season. They only had 1 win all last year, and that was in the season finale against Sioux Falls Lincoln. So right now they have 3, and I really look at their schedule and say there's a minimum. You hate to say minimum, but there are at least 3 games that you say, I think they go in favored in the Vegas betting odds, if Vegas had betting odds on high school basketball. And then Spearfish over Rapid City Central. Sioux Falls Washington defeats Aberdeen Central, and T area defeats Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Those are the only games that are complete in AA. And in A, of course, Vermillion falls to Del Rapids. Millbank wins. ACDC over Bon Home, 26-23. That is a low-scoring game.
Yeah, it looks like a football game.
It does. Great Plains Lutheran over Florence Henry. Wagner defeats Scotland Menno, 66-16. Not a shock. Flandreau defeats Dubrook area. Now, Flandreau, that is a team that the Vermillion girls will take on Saturday. Flandreau is now 6-5 on the season, or 7-5 on the season, so should be an interesting one. And that will be up at Sioux Valley. Stanley County wins. Platte Geddes wins. Tri-Valley wins. Sioux Falls Christian just took it to Dakota Valley, 60-28. Sioux Valley over Beersford. Canton over McCook Central Montrose. Groton area over Webster area. Clark Willow Lake over Redfield. Wall over Hill City. Hamlin over Sisseton. Sturgis Brown leads St. Thomas More. And Douglas lead Deadwood. And in B, Lyman won. Wakpala won. Sanborn Central won. Omaha Nation won. Phillip. Harding County. Lemon. Wabash Summit. Burke in a 1-pointer over Boyd County. Centerville over Viborg Hurley and girls. Andy Central again over and Dakota Christian over Bon Home. And just looking for any scores we haven't given. Kadoka area defeated Kimball White Lake. Chester area over Bridgewater Emery, Freeman over Canastota, and Wall over Hill City. No score update on McIntosh over Timberlake. McIntosh and Timberlake again. Go McIntosh, Timberlake stinks. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank with Parker Orr and Eve Holly. I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll be back in action on Saturday. Game is scheduled for around 2:45. That'll be on both Fox Sports Radio and on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Just a reminder, we were the only Vermillion broadcasters that came up here. So why don't you just go and like us, follow us, click that bell button. You'll be notified every time. Because if you really want the most coverage of the Tanagers, we're your home. We'll be back next time. Have a great night.
This has been a presentation of Vermillion Tanagers football on ESPN 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Brought to you by our corporate sponsor, First Dakota National Bank of Vermillion, and the following Vermillion Sportscaster Club members: Murph's Appliance, Knudsen Family Dentistry, Runnings of Vermillion, Vermillion Chamber and Development Company, Vermillion Vision Care, Voyage Credit Union, Todd's Electric, Slumberland, Larry's Heating and Cooling, Masaba, Blaine's Body Shop, Clay County Abstract, The Lumberyard, Yankton Thrive, Johnson Feed, Vermillion Medical Clinic, First Dakota National Bank, Kalen's, Fuller Digital Solutions, Thermobond, Intech, Dairy Queen of Vermillion, Farmers Union Insurance, Vermillion Auto Works, Dave's Roofing, Pizza Ranch of Vermillion, and Candy's Couture. For complete coverage of Vermillion Tanager Athletics, keep it tuned to ESPN 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, and Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.